everyone, Jeff Costola and the Hills Footy media team getting you good afternoon here at Balhannah Oval as we get set for today's Call of the Wild featuring the Hills Football League Round 7 Division 1 clash between Onka Valley Bulldogs and the visiting Blackwood Football Club. Great to have you aboard our worldwide stream for what has been designated as the Breakthrough Community Round, creating awareness about mental health research. And our coverage again made possible by those wonderful broadcast partners, Sports Interactive, Mortgage Choice, Jarrett, Nissan, Dartfish, Adelaide Star Buses, Business Plaza and Chris Shaw Accounting. And once again, the weatherman's been reasonably kind to us, so a bit of a witchy day in the build-up, but the weather was clear this moment, so we anticipate that will be very nice here this afternoon. And speaking of wise heads who've gathered for today's coverage, it's great to have Hills Footy Media Manager Robbie Sherwood on board. G'day, Rob.
G'day, Pistols. G'day, Goldie. Hi, boys. Good to be here. Penultimate round of a short season, so yeah. Hopefully the weather's going to be fine to us. So yeah, we've got a new setup, so we may have the odd small technical issue, but we should be fine.
And of course, from the Courier, 5MU correspondent as well, Benny Goldfitch. G'day, Benny.
Hey, Pistols. Good to be here from Balhannah Oval. Big clash today, so looking forward to it.
And of course, Shane Collins will be joining us as well. And of course, Jade and Indy doing the stats that matter down the track. So, as I said, traditional sort of rivals as such, Blackwood and also Onka Valley, and it's our pleasure to have a legend of Blackwood join us, Dave Richardson. Rico, good to see you, mate.
Thanks, Pistols. See you again.
And of course, you've been out and about already this morning doing the umpiring, which is good to see.
Yep.
Now, Balhannah Oval, I wasn't going to ask you this, but I got told just to cheer you up. 2001, a grand final odyssey. Must be good memories of this ground, mate.
Well, it was a good build-up to that day, but in the end, we didn't quite get over the line, mate. So, unfortunately, now, which was a bit disappointing.
Now, sitting in the back pocket, must have been entertaining in the second half, particularly third quarter, to see a particular bloke from Harndorf kick 6 goals in a quarter and 9 in the half. So, Shane Grimm.
Yeah, the big Grimmy. He was very hard to stop that day, the big fella, and the way the boys were feeding it into him, obviously we didn't nullify him at all well. So it was just one of those things. I think he had a good day out. So good luck to him.
Now, how did you feel, mate? Because you would have almost bookended the situation, because 1991 Premiership player, 2001 would have been a decade. Nice way to finish off. Yeah, went from the busting midfielder to the little stout back pocket player.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, I think Kieran Spawn, who was coaching us at the time, he was the one who decided I could go back after having all those years in the midfield, and he thought I could be a bit of a general back there, a bit of a quarterback style, I suppose. And it was just actually nice to play back there and be able to run through and give what I could give back in those days and sort of finish off my career nicely. So it was good, definitely.
Now, 1991, of course, Dave, as we said, a premiership, which the drought was broken in 2017. But 1992, could that arguably individually you'd rate that as your best season, because you won the Memorial Medal? I think that was last year.
Runner-up. The Memorial Medal for Blackwood. Sorry, yes,
Blackwood's best.
Yes, exactly.
Like after you won it, they changed the name.
Yes, they did. To Goldie. Yeah, that's right.
And also, as you said, runner-up in the male medal. You and Randall Pearce, one vote behind the great man Red Clover.
Yeah.
So it sort of robbed you being Blackwood's first male medalist.
Maybe.
Which, of course, John O'Brumpton.
Correct.
He got a bit later, and Benny Badenoch.
Yes, good.
Simon McCormick.
Yeah. All the stars. Yeah. No, I thought after 91. We were all ready to go again. Yeah. And I probably got as fit as I have done for a long time back in those days, which I thought was a good thing. And after the premiership, so I think it was a bit of a hangover. And I thought I had a breakout season that year for sure. You know, found my feet with the club and what Armo was trying to, McArthur was trying to do. And unfortunately, we got pipped at the post by Onkas of all people in the prelim. But myself, definitely had a good year that year for sure. Missing out on the male medal was a bit disappointing, but it was the way it goes. So
I know you're in the team situations, but it would have been nice. But one thing you did achieve, as we get close to the action here in the Magoos, Because Blackwood having a very good lead at the moment, 14-14 to 1 goal for. Perhaps our man Shane Collins needs to do a bit more consultancy work for the Organ. First Blackwood player life member of the Hills Football League. That must have given you a lot of pride as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I think
you and Dave Venning are the only two to get it.
Damien Venning and myself, the only two Blackwood players to achieve player Hills life membership, which I think is a fantastic achievement. And as we've said to each other, Damien and myself, that by playing such a long time and probably luckily enough for the one club in the Hills, those games just clock up and play enough, you're going to get those accolades. So yeah, it's a good achievement for sure.
Now, how difficult was it for the Blackwood Football Club? As we know, when they come into the Hills, they had the situation where they had to field 4 teams,
Yep.
2 seniors and 2 juniors in the 2 divisions of the league. Did that split the club up as such, as entities? You know, instead of being one, you had the guys playing at Mount Torrens, and you might be out at somewhere else.
Yeah. Oh, it was always difficult, and I think we might have talked about this before, Pistols, and I think it definitely didn't help the A's and B's in a sense, because the B's were playing as the Div 2 A grade side, away from the A grade, so we could never really tell who was, the boys even, that's right, the talent coming through, and the boys even who played in the B grade couldn't really pinpoint a spot that they could think that they could target by not watching the game as well. So yeah, it didn't help, and it spread the club far and wide, but in the sense it made us quite a powerful club. So I think we were proud of that reason, but yeah, it didn't always help with the progress of players coming through the ranks for sure.
I think there was a bit of a belief when Blackwood came into the Hills Football League 1987, because the great Peter Hargraves, the late great Peter Hargraves, as the initial coach, that Blackwood would be too strong for the competition, and they'd dominate. And obviously, 88 they made the grand final. Mike Broderick won a flag, and then of course 91, and then it was a bit of a drought till 2017.
Yeah,
so perhaps those fears were a bit unfounded.
Yeah, I think so. Days. And it's really hard to put your finger right on.
I think it was based on the population size of Blackwood compared to a few of the Hills.
Absolutely, clubs. And I think as we've said before too, is that Blackwood are a side that everyone wants to beat, which I can understand, and we love that fact that they want to beat us. But as well, like sometimes it's hard to regain those players to stay at our club, maybe because they're close to the city and they can go down and play with the clubs in the city or whatever. But I think as a whole, our club's probably as strong as you get in the Hills Footy League. So if you're targeting success, it's not always at the A grade level with us. It's the whole club, and I think it'd be nice to be more successful in the A grade, but it's just not the way it's gone.
Well, I can remember Blackwood winning a string of Colts premierships, and as you said, didn't unfortunately transfer into the senior level. But now I remember you telling me that you were probably had the potential to be the best served volleyer to come out of Cockaleachy. Can you want to tell our listeners a bit about that?
Yeah, I was a kid there, and there was a famous name that also came out of Cockaleachy. But I'll tell you this one thing, Pistols, is my uncle who played at Sturt back in the 70s.
Yeah.
He was named the original named the original Cockaleachy kid by Mike Cowd, who was
of course, the great Mike Cowd.
That's right, who was one of the
doyen of riders. Sports.
Journos back in the day. But obviously after that, one great John Fitzgerald made a name for himself, and this year got honoured by becoming a Hall of Famer for tennis. So is
he a Hall of Famer at Cockaleachy?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
There's
no statues there, but
population of 88.
Oh,
something like that, or it fluctuates.
If you could throw a rug over it, it'd probably get to 88. But they're not all in the one. It's not a town. It's just a whole
area.
Used to be your tennis courts and an oval, but it's just farming district. And used to
it's
be a railway siding back in the good old days.
Something quite removed from what we have here in the Hills, I'd suggest.
Correct.
The environment.
The broadacre farming. It's a long way between neighbours. So.
Yeah, obviously you're still umpiring, as we talked at the top of the show. Great to see you out there. You just specialise these days in junior footy?
Yeah, well, I said to Mick back last year when I got involved with the footy club that I was keen to keep doing it, and he said, well, you do it, you do what you want to do, and I said, well, I'm happy to help out doing junior games, knowing that I could then be of service to the club after that.
Yeah.
Because it's about the footy club for me. So, but still got the finger in the pie with the umpiring, and I think it's good to keep doing it, and it's good for the young kids to have ex-players like myself to be able to do that
absolutely,
too,
encourage them.
Yeah,
now, as you alluded to last year, we saw you in the consultancy role. We'll get to another consultant in the B grade in just a minute.
Yeah.
But this year you're actually taking a major role in the A grade.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Runner or
yep,
delivering the messages.
Yes, yeah. Don't shoot the messenger, please.
We might get you wired up.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, wild me up today. But no, Ando's been excellent in wanting Nick and myself around after being involved with the Bees the last couple of years, and just seeing the way I think the way we are with the young fellas. And he just asked us this year if we were keen to come up and help him out, and we were definitely on board with that, and I think it's been a really good thing that we are involved. So,
what's your thoughts? Obviously, Ryan Anderson, his second year as playing coach. You see more of a return in recent times to the playing coach, because obviously back in your day, Mickey Armfield, as you said, I think Frank Spiel was there, and there was a lot of
Hargraves.
Yeah, that's right, Peter. But in recent years, it's sort of gone to the non-playing. But it's sort of, how hard is it? Obviously, he's got trusted men like you and Macca on the side. You are the brains trusted.
Exactly.
But how hard is it for a guy? I know Ryan spent a bit of time off with injury this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is hard for him, but I think he copes really well. He's such a positive fellow, and he trusts who he has on the sidelines. But the boys love him, and he delivers the message well. They respect him. We all respect him, and I think he's for what he does is actually a commendment to him for sure. Great.
Yeah, and just Blackwood Football Club. A few of the juniors with some new names that we see, McCormick, Hocking, these sort of guys, young Zevenboom, no, just give us, and Matt T, just give us a bit of their background.
Yeah, well, those fellas have come out of the junior ranks, so this is what we're about, and part of that pathway coming through, and with Nick McCarthy being an under-15s, under-17s into senior role, I think he's helped bring those kids along in that area, and these guys, they love the club, and that's what you want. You want the guys to love the club, to play for the club, and to promote them and get them games is what it's all about. So to see those guys playing A-grade footy consistently now is a really good thing, and we love it.
And of course, a few big things happening at Blackwood. The women's team going gangbusters, because your old mate Damien Venting's been involved with that pretty heavily. I think his daughter's playing down at Westies.
Yeah, she's just been, I think, on the list of drafts.
Really?
Draftees.
AFLW?
Yeah, so I think she's had a
Dave will be a manager, no doubt.
No doubt about
Mr.
it.
60%.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I think she's up for draft, which is fantastic, Zoe. But yeah, the girls down there, I think the whole club in all are heading in a really good direction. The new change rooms have made a hell of a difference in terms of attracting those the girls as well as the young fellas and the senior guys that hang around, which is what we're all about. So yeah, as a whole, the club's looking in a really good spot.
So in preparation for this game today, obviously, Ando will be taking through the final over there in the club rooms, but how much do you do during the week? Do you sit down and watch the Hills Footy media tapes from the previous week and identify a few things from the opposition?
Yeah, I think it's been one of the best things since I've been involved in the Hills is to have all of this availability to the media. And the boys are onto it straight away. They'll be onto it tomorrow morning.
It's a bit unfortunate it wasn't available in your day, mate.
Well,
you would have been wanted to do you every week.
The old VCR to get that out occasionally. But no, it's been excellent that the availability to that is there, and the boys can use it for themselves, or the club can use bits and pieces of it. And having a guy like Benny Koenig, who's pretty switched on with all that sort of thing. We've got video ready to go by Monday, and it's great. For the organisation.
So how do you work, Dave, on the situation, if I could say this, Blackwood certainly played with inconsistency this year. Good win against Jarrett, the first time beaten them there in about 10 years or whatever, and you fall over to Nairn. That's nothing against Nairn. No. And said early in the year when we saw against Lobie, terrible performance. But how do you get that? Is that because it's a younger side? And
I think so.
Mental thing?
It's hard to pinpoint exactly what it is, but I reckon it's just the fact that we are a young developing side. Ando's a young developing coach, and to get it all aligned consistently week in, week out is probably the challenge. It's not a bad thing that sometimes that we look bad, but there's always the positives in there, and those young guys are actually grasping the idea of what Ando's trying to produce. And sometimes other clubs may see that we are a young side and just lock us in to how we like to play on the outside a bit more. And those clubs like to bottle us up, and then once we get bottled up, I think we go into our shell, maybe, and that could stymie us in terms of our consistency, I suppose. Yeah.
And a bit more difficult for you today, because you're probably without what I'd rate as two of the best defenders in the comp of all time. Obviously, Kurt Thompson, your past captain, and he won 4 best and fairest, mate, so he's just above you.
Yes, exactly.
But obviously, he's gone for, unfortunately, well, as we said, it'd be good to see him come back after the knee. But, and of course, Scott Bricknell, late out today with a back injury.
Yeah, the big Brickers, he was sore Thursday. He couldn't hardly bend over, so I'm not sure what he's done. But he basically made himself available until this morning. He said he couldn't get through, which gave an opportunity for James Hopton to come up, which is fantastic. So, yeah, experienced player there, and obviously Kurt's going to be, over the period of time, I think it's going to be a massive loss to us. He's such a general for us back there and all that sort of thing. But it just gives these young guys an opportunity to step up and show their wares and hopefully take over some of that control, for sure.
And lovely to see a couple of the mullets out there, which we've had, of course, over your way, Zach Zevenboom. He's
the old boomer,
running in mix 102, I think. So,
right,
contest for Adelaide's best mullet, not just the best on HFL media, Robbie.
Well,
there you go.
102.3 by Monday morning, I think, and just vote for number 2.
Number 2, vote for number 2, the big boomer, Zachy Zevenboom.
Well, the population of Blackwood.
Yeah,
that's
they
half
will.
of Adelaide, they'll be there.
That's right.
Hey, just on that, support for Blackwood, because let's face it, it's not far down the road to sort of a lot of other footy clubs,
Correct.
but good support in the local area.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, home games for us are fantastic. I mean, it's been hard through this COVID period with trying to social distance and get numbers right and all that sort of stuff. But when we're at home, you can't ask for a better crowd to be there for us. And and spattered around here, you'll see red and green everywhere. So there is support, and obviously.
Always a good time when the Axman's luncheons
That's right.
on as well.
Yeah, and we'll get plenty of advice from those guys after the game as well. So, but yeah, there's always good support for the boys here, and we all love it. So, can't complain.
So, what are we looking forward to today? Obviously a win, but who's someone we should look at today? Sort of.
I would say the younger guys. Looking at Troy Hocking, Matty T, Isaac McCormack, who's son of Simon.
Good pedigree there.
Good pedigree. He's got a bit more hair than the old man, but he'll play out in the wing. Evan Johnson, new guy to our club, and then we've got Jake Atkinson back this week, Daniel Bennett has come back. The big fellas. So I think that's going to be handy for helping out big Yarn Warbit.
Yeah.
So from that point of view, I reckon overall it'll just be a good game, I reckon, today, Pistols.
Well, certainly when the depth is there, Rico, when you look at the background in the scoreboard, 15-4-2-5, so pretty good. The Magoo's travelling pretty well. Yeah, they are. No, I think that's what helps when you got guys who come back from injury. So you change your coach, mate, they're going all right. Exactly right. So it gives guys, the guys who have been steady B graders, can't quite get into that A grade. They play well and they just keep putting their hand up. So that's what we ask of them. Just keep putting your hand up. Keep competing, and you just never know. So. Well, there are. The final siren has gone 15-4-2-5, a runaway win to the Blackwood Football Club. So, time for you to go and do what you do best, Dave. So, thanks very much for joining us here on Hills Footy Unplugged. Have a good day. Don't do any hamstrings, etc. So, try not. Thanks for joining us, Dave Richardson, one of the legends of Blackwood Football Club. Cheers, as we cross to one of the legends here, the Onka Valley Footy Club, and I noticed he was pretty. Quick to get out the handing out the lifeboats in the Titanic. I thought I'll jump in one. 2-5 to 15-4 consultant. Good to see you again. Yeah, good to see you too, mate. Yeah, I got out of there real quick because things were going pear-shaped at a rapid rate, and the Yonkers boys won the last quarter as soon as I left. So is there a message there? It was good to see that they fought back. But yeah, really good effort by Blackwood's twos. 15 goals for Onkers were undefeated until last week, and now they've lost 2 in a row. So, yeah, a very tight B-grade competition it is. But really looking forward to the big game here today, mate. It's the conditions I think are perfect for football. It's not too cold. In a minute, I'll just show a bit on the oval. There's a couple of real wet Tony Gregg style. Yeah, Tony Gregg style. I don't have the key, but overall the oval's in pretty good condition, and this is the last home game for Onkers this year as well. So after today, they're on the road for the last couple. And a bit of a damning stat, Shane. I've actually got the details here. I think 2013 was the last time that Blackwood were beaten here by Onka Valley. In fact, we've got it here. You've got to have your notes, mate. Jaden knows that off the top of his head. That's right. Round 9, 2013, 48 points to 19. Some famous names there. Michael Leonard, Stevie Tanner.
Yes, the great man just played
Bosman,
first
Wolford,
game for the year in the
Tommy
twos and
Jeffries,
just done his hamstring again, so that's a bit disappointing for him. So, yeah, Mason Angover, there you go. There's
And
another
I
blast in
think
the past.
10-2 for the last dozen meetings in favour of the Woods. So
Yeah, pardon the pun, they've had the wood over Onkas in previous years, and they seem to rise to the occasion, which is a good thing for their club. And I don't think today's battle has been any different. I'll take the Onkas hat off here. I really think Blackwood are a massive chance today. You know, their form has been up and down, but when they do come to play with the right, attitude and they're up and about, they can be a really good side. And Onkas have got a couple of guys. They've got a couple out. They're certainly not at full strength. There's a couple of boys under a bit of injury cloud. Got through fitness tests earlier today, so it'll be interesting to see how that pans out.
all right, we might let you head towards the centre of the ground and do what you do best.
No worries, thanks Pistols. Yeah, as I just come out to the middle of the ground here, I just thought it'd be ideal to show people. We've had a lot of rain, obviously, here in the Adelaide Hills and through this region. And where I'm walking right now, it is very, very heavy. If I could use the racing parlons, which is close to my heart, this area here is your heavy 8 to heavy 9 region, where the rest of the ground is quite firm. So this top pocket here absorbs a lot of water, and it's going to be quite heavy right here in front of the Dream Maker. So it'll be interesting to see whether the players stay away from this region on the ground. I would suspect they'll be attacking probably from the other end of the ground. There's no real breeze to speak of. It's it's a little bit swirly, but nothing of any substantial interest to any teams. But yeah, staying out of this pocket will be key. Just as we come out to the middle of the ground, I'm really looking forward to today's game. We saw Blackwood a few weeks ago, and they weren't quite on top of their game that day, but I'm really looking forward to today. As I just said about the heavy ground, I reckon it's an inside game today, and I'm really looking forward to, Blackwood's midfielders and those in and under players, Benson, Spawn, Matty Tuck, who's got great speed around stoppages, Ben McCready, what a star player he is, and, those are the players that are going to make a difference today for Blackwood. And then obviously on Onka's side, Tim Webber back into the team today, very important inclusion for the Dogs. Dan Scholl, who's in the ruck, and I don't think there's any better ruckman in the comp, so I'm really looking forward to the contest there today. Obviously, Johnny Greenslade, who's had a good start to the year as well. So really interested to see how the midfield battle works out. For Blackwood, then it's all about who kicks the goals. Obviously, the recruitment of Joel Aish has been huge for them, and they'll need him to stand up today. And also Phil Hopton, their centre-half forward. He'll need to have a good controlling game. Onka's back line is very young, and that's where Blackwood might get the upper hand there. Young Noah Bell, first year out of under 18s, he'll be playing full back today on Aish, so it would be a really big responsibility for him. Zach Jordan, Mitch Coccioloni, all these boys are very early into their A-grade career, so it'll be interesting to see how they hold up against the Blackwood forward line. But for me, it'll be one in and under, right there in the centre of the ground. The centre of the ground's in good condition. There's no reason why you can't play some really good, fluent, positive football there. So I'd be interested to see how that pans out there. Player to watch for Onka's, young Pake, young Tyson Pake. He's only just started his A-grade career last week. Today will be his second game. A real nippy, speedy forward pocket player. He kicked 7 in the twos a couple of weeks ago, so really interested to see. He kicked 1 goal 5 last week, so in his A-grade debut. So really interested to see how he goes in the second game. So anyway, boys, that's how it looks out here. Beautiful day for footy. Yeah, you can enjoy these conditions. Just stay out of this mud pocket here, and I think you can set yourself up for a good score. So cross back to you for the Dream Maker, and looking forward to the first bounce.
Thank you very much there to Shane Collins, and good to have him aboard here because, well, he's got the car park, he's got the pavilion, he's got everything, got the cubicle named after him, Goldie. And, of course, worldwide stream. How do people get involved and interactive with us, Goldie?
Yeah, hillsfooty.com, Pistols. Just click on the watch live, or you can also listen live if you just want to just listen. You don't have to watch, but watching is fantastic because you get to see Colo walking around Balhannah Oval and Jaden and Indy. So perfect conditions, as Colo said, here from Balhannah Oval weather-wise. Yeah, and also go to the Hills Football League Facebook page, click on the link there, and all the action from round 7, only a few rounds before finals, which sounds a bit weird, but yeah.
Yes, it's all come around really quick, hasn't it? But sorry, I missed the toss of the coin, but Onkas are kicking to the Balhannah end to start the game here, and Blackwood kicking to the Oakbank or the Club Rooms end. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, underway. Round 7 action. Trust you're enjoying the quarter while from Balhannah Oval. First knockdown goes to Warbut. Ball pushed forward. Scrambling play. The Woods trying to move it forward now through Spawn towards the forward area. Corridor area. McCready gets involved, flicks a handball out. Misses the target there in Spawn. Onka's trying to break the ball forward. Comes down into tuck. He's dispossessed. Goes to ground. Heavy tackle applied there by Zach George Dent.
Father to be, is that right, Colo?
No, he's a father. Had a baby this week.
Congratulations.
So, yep, first game as a dad.
So umpire Nathan Hall, assisted by Andrew Lawless this afternoon, put the ball up. Here's a chance for the Woods through the agency there of Benson, I think it is.
Doesn't just put the ball up, Pistol, I think he's nailed it.
Yes.
A great start from the Woods. I mentioned earlier about stoppage being important, and already Spawn and Benson, the two boys I mentioned in their midfield, got their hands on the footy early, and great ruck work by the big fella Warbut, and they got it off, and that was a good shot on goal and a good start for the Woods.
So perfect conditions out here. Well, I wouldn't say quite perfect, but for winter it's not too bad. A bit better than we had last week, Shane. We're a little bit chilly. We missed you, of course, but it's a lot finer today, so it's good to have you back on board.
Yeah, I checked the weather and thought I'd be right today.
And how was it for the under-9s last night?
No, got a touch-up. So coach is in trouble.
Well, coach is in trouble.
First loss for 2 years, so the boys aren't happy.
Magoo's are losing under-9s. They're in real trouble. Back in the centre. Warbut got the high over the top. Ball came down. Fed out here. Looks like Chippiana getting involved. Blackwood intercepting here. Showing off a challenge there was young McCormick, I think, as Dave Richardson said. Son of the very talented Simon McCormick. But in the meantime, free kick looks like it's going to be Chippiana with the free kick for the Dogs.
Right half back. Kicks it out towards the interchange bend. Intended target there with Big Dan Scholl. Kicks it towards the half-forward line for the Woods, but it goes to his counterpart there in Jan Warbut, who set up the first goal of the match to the Woods through Daniel Benson. Kick towards centre wing by Blackwood. Number of players there. Ball hits the deck, across the half-forward line, and looks like it's going to be held up. So left half-forward line for Blackwood. First goal of the match through Benson. We've gone a couple of minutes. It's 1 goal Blackwood. Onka's yet to score.
Warbut still over the top with the tap down. Stolen away there by Benson, the goal kicker. Puts it up, and it's up to, looks like it's Aish. Wearing those distinctive orange boots. Goldie, yes, Joel Aish taking a mark there. So leading goal kicker for the Woods this season with 18. Second overall behind our man Darcy Hurrigan on 19. So Aish. Best bag of 9 in the opening round, boys. So it was a good debut against Mount Lofty in the Blackwood colours, because Blackwood wearing the predominantly white strip this afternoon. So Aish heading towards the Oakbank end of the ground.
Last week, Pistols and Colo, Blackwood kicked 3 goals, 5 in the first term. So be looking to make it 2 from 2 here, which he does.
I tell you, he's read that win very, very nicely there, Shane Collins. You'd be familiar with how the breeze blows here. And, well, Blackwood come out to 3 minutes gone. They lead 2 straight. Onka's yet to get on the board.
Yeah, sensational start by the Woods. Exactly how I thought. A midfield contest. There's been some stoppages there. And the big fella in the ruck, I said Dan Scholl's been in excellent form. Well, he's getting touched up already. And Spawn and McCready and those boys on the ground are doing a great job. Benson off that stoppage there. And Aish on full flight. You can't stop that. We've seen Blackwood, I think, 4 weeks ago against Lobethal. This is a different team already, you can tell, in this first 10 minutes.
Yeah, as you said, interesting ruck contest. You've got the leaper and show against the stay-at-home on ground level Warbut. Some situation here. So got the tap out here, Damien Green. Flicks it out here. Got it to Lockie Peter. Here's the first chance in attack for the Dogs. Spilled there by the defence. Comes out the Vines. Shoots out a handball here to Peter, who followed up his kick well. As a shot as it come back, umpire seems to be Chris McCardle. The goal umpire does, so that's a good reply there. Shane Collins through the agency. Lockie Peter was involved initially, got the handball back off Vines, and finish off with a curling around the corner goal.
Yeah, Lockie Peter been a big inclusion for Onkas this year, but his first month, to be honest, he's just struggled to find the pace and find his feet. He was excellent last week for the Doggies, and a good early goal to him. The one thing you'll notice about Onka's forward line, if you look out there, there is absolutely no height about it. They're very short forward. There's no key forwards anymore, sort of Michael Leonard's pending retirement.
Jake Adcock missing today?
Jake Adcock missing today. They're very, very small. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see if that can be successful today against the Woods.
So Dan Scholl bouncing around for the Dogs. He's ready to go against Jan Warbut again. Good start to this one. 3 goals inside the opening 5 minutes. Top 5 spot for both sides, potentially even top 3. Clearing kick from the Dogs out towards the half-forward line. Blackwood go towards the half-forward line. Carissa's around the action. Held up centre wing out of side. As I said, 2 goals. Blackwood on the board. Benson and Joel Aish. Onka Valley through Lockie Peter. So centre wing, outer side. Blackwood kicking towards the clubroom end in this first term. Benson gets it to Tuck for the Woods, kicks it towards the half-forward line. Comes off a few players, tied on the boundary line. Blackwood keep it alive. I think H was involved. Eventually it comes to Evan Johnson wearing Nick Holmberg's old number 8, and that's gone through for a minor score for Blackwood. So first minor score for the game, 2 goals, 1 Blackwood. And Onka's 1 goal, 6 minutes gone. And the Dogs will bring the ball back in out towards the half-back flank.
Oh,
Attempt to anyway.
Well, Webber coughed up what he should have taken. Easy chest mark became a major problem there. And unfortunately the ball over the boundary line. So as Goldie said, right half-forward flank favouring Blackwood as they kick towards the Oakbank end of the ground opening term in quarter while. Trust you're enjoying our coverage, hillsfooty.com. Let us know where you're watching, what your thoughts are. Atkinson got the ball. Actually, also involved there was Green. Bouncing ball over the head of Vines. Blackwood War at ground level doing some work as his teammate Hopton, the late inclusion in the long sleeves, tried to gather the ball but eluded him. So Big Warbot picks himself up, hands the ball back to the umpire Lawless, and let's get underway. So Warbot gets this one down the throat of Onka's player. Quick handball out there.
Good mark, Lockie Peter.
And up here to Lockie Peter, he's been busy already. Gets it back to Greenslade, who was initially involved. Puts it out wide here towards the lead of Sinnott. Will it sit for him? Yes, Matt Waldron closes, gets it back to the chip. He's trapped this way, that way, finally gets clear. Spots up Mayo and the lead over his head, and great running defence out there. The boy from Sales City, and Johnson clears for the Woods.
It's gone back down the throat of Shoal, dropped the mark. He's got some support here. Chain of handballs, ends with Damien Green. He goes back to Jeffries, switches play out towards the half-forward flank. Is that Jordan out
yes,
there?
It is.
Colo, he goes out towards, spots up a teammate there
Webber.
in Webber. So the Woods, the Dogs, patient build up here, working around the half-forward arc area. So Tim Webber looking inside 50. Goes with a kick in towards the forward pocket area. 3 Blackwood players there. And the ball hits the deck. So the Dogs got the ball inside 50 near the scoreboard. 2 goals, 1 Blackwood. Onka's 1 goal, 7 minutes gone.
Yeah, you see the difference there. The quick entry from Greenslade should have hit the target, didn't. But when it's a slow play, it's going to be hard for Onkas to get a marking target forward, only having that small forward line.
So right in front of the scoreboard is called 2-1. The Woods, 1 straight to the Dogs. Warbot gets it down. McCready working hard, wearing a different number here this afternoon, usually 49, but 47 here.
47, yep.
This afternoon.
Sure,
obviously the away Guernsey's not matching up. So once again, Warbot double hands it down.
Great
Run
tap.
aheaded by the Tuck. Fryer, the vice captain, gets it up the wing area. Up towards the Onkas, as made by Doggy, the dog out. Here at
The dog out. Geez, Warbot started well in the ruck, boys.
He has indeed. He's well, we thought they might lose a bit with the retirement of Lucas Herbert, the big fella, but he's, as Shane Collins said, certainly fitting the bill, the former basketball boy. So he'll be in opposition against Shell. Warbot works to the front, gets it down over the top with Shell. In front, they're battling hard with Damien Green. The slug goes to ground under pressure from Benson. Meanwhile, ball flicked out there by McCready. Quick kick away by Tuck. Bouncing ball in front of the new barbecue shed. Well populated this afternoon. Tamed by Ace. He tries a little bit of that. He did keep. No. Academy boy caught behind the play there and signals it was over the boundary line. So right in front of the new barbecue shed, Shane, which no doubt you've probably visited a few times.
Yeah, I've had a couple of burgers out of there. The Junior Footy Club run that, so good little addition to the park here at Onkas.
So the ball won down by Atkinson. Into scrambled play there. Umpire.
Just another interesting point today. Blackwood already some big midfield rotations through the bench, and if you look at Onka's bench, they've actually got 2 ruckmen on the bench, so 2 contrasts in styles today.
So Atkinson got the ball down. Ace tries to bundle his way through. He's well tackled by Greenslade. Held up. So Woods marching inside the forward 50 arc here, moving closer towards goal. Atkinson got it over the top. Bouncing ball. Eluded Green, caught in under a pack there. Heavy tackling at ground level, holds the ball in. And once again, the umpire will come in and board up just inside the 50-metre arc for the Woods as they go towards the Oakbank end. And 9.5 minutes gone, 2-1 Blackwood, 1 straight to Onkas.
Goal kicker so far for Blackwood, Benson and Joel Aish. And for Onkas, it was Lockie Peter. Meantime, Blackwood go forward. Zach George Dent, good mark. And that point post is wobbling around. He goes to switch play out towards the half-back flank area and might find the boundary line here, and he does. So just working it out there.
He's probably happy to ball it out, Goldie. Spawn was
Finding
he
touch,
knew,
yeah.
yes.
Boundary throw in, 10 minutes gone. Good start to the game. Top 5 spot or potentially top 3 spot up for on the grabs. 2 goals, 1 Onkers. Blackwood, I should say. Onkers 1 goal. So boundary throw in, half forward line. Few scrimmages early. Perfect conditions here from Balhannah Oval. Only a few matches away from finals. So every game from now on is vital, especially for these two today. Blackwood trying to get the ball forward here. Good work there by Dykesman, the skipper, but it's chopped off there for Onkers through Coccioloni, I think it is there, Colo.
Yes.
So Mitchell Coccioloni will work the ball along the wing area. Low kick, but it's chopped out there for Blackwood by Daniel Bennett, back in the lineup this season, the premiership player in 2017. He'll kick the ball inside 50. Aish will be down there. Flying over the top. Oh, kicks towards goal. It's gone through for a minor score there.
Good front and centre from the coach there, Ryan Anderson.
Yeah, absolutely. Just offline. So the Woods move on to 2-2, leading Onka Valley 1 straight, and 11 minutes just ticked over here. First term of the round 7 game, Hills Football League Division 1 comp. Trust you're enjoying it. So Onkers bring the ball back in.
Oh, good pressure.
Members Pavilion. The picket fence, touch of Adelaide Oval there, Colo. Never seen it.
Another new addition to the place, yeah.
Looks like a free kick here for Blackwood.
Yeah, that was clumsy exit out of the full-back kick out there by Matt Dean. Unfortunately, it's landed in the wrong person's hand here.
Yeah, that man.
Joel Aish is a dead-eye shots at goal, so a couple of shots on goal early for him will get his confidence up, which will mean Onkers will be hard. He'll be hard to stop for Onkers.
As we saw, he kicked the second goal of the game, so he's got 19 for the season, which leaves him at this current stage equal with Darcy Hourigan.
Kicked 4 goals last week.
So Aish, on that right foot, sets it sail.
He likes it. He likes
Jeez,
it.
a good kick.
He is
Beautiful
fantastic.
stuff.
He has an interesting style,
Yeah, he
but
does.
very effective, boys. And
So does his brother, if I remember correctly.
that's right. Consecutive goals for Joel Aish at the second and now 12-minute mark. Blackwood charged to 3-2. Onka Valley 1 straight, Shane Collins.
Yeah, just clumsy. Clumsy exit from Onkers there, running out of the goal square that shouldn't even need to be there, and handballing the ball to a player who was in trouble. So an early change for Onkers. See Blake Fanning's come on and gone to full back. He's been playing in the ruck in the twos, so they've gone for a bit of a taller player back there.
So back in the middle, Balhannah Oval, 3 goals, 2. Good start from the Woods. Onkers 1 goal. Their goal scorer so far is Lockie Peter. Benson's kicked 1. Aish has kicked 2 for the Woods. Of course, Blackwood lost at home last week against Nambour United. Want to bounce back today. So back in the middle. Dogs looking for a clearance here. They get it. Andy Vines towards centre forward. Good chop out there by Bennett. Ball's fumbling around at ground level. Trying to get the work out there was Webber. He goes to Johnny Greenslade. Usually a good user of the ball. Ball hits the deck. Dangerous position here for Onkers if they use it well. It's chopped out though. Johnson for Blackwood. Switches play out here. He's got the run through McCarthy, who won a underage male medal or best and fairest a few years ago. One of the young guns here in the Blackwood lineup. Kicks it towards centre wing, but that's chopped out by Zach George Dent, who's got a few touches early Pistols.
George Dent squares the ball across, finds the experienced Jeffries. He goes wide out towards the coaching box side. Bouncing ball gathered there by Sinot. He's got time to steady, thinks about it. Handballs back to Coccioloni, who nurses one up the line, but chopping it out nicely there for Blackwood.
Matt T, is it?
Matt T, I think it is, yes, correct. So Blackwood systematically in defence, sharing the ball around as it came back to Johnson. Johnson nurses it up, gave his opponent a bit of a challenge, his teammate a bit of a challenge, so gathered away and cleared for Blackwood by Baldacero, I think it was.
Yep.
Long kick up towards half forward.
Oh, he started well.
That's a very good mate. He's a confidence man. Aish wastes no time. Hooks over his shoulder.
That
He's got
is
Dykesman,
brilliant.
I think it is, who's run on.
Aish is on today.
So great play. They almost coast to coast there, Goldie. Sorry, it was Benson who was on the receiving end of that. So Daniel Benson, the chance to kick his second goal of the match, and the 4th for Blackwood. And even though it's only come out 15 minutes, could set a few alarm bells as it fades away at the last moment. So a bit of a let off there, Shane Collins.
Yeah, look, well done to Blackwood. That's great transition footy, but just sloppy by the Bulldogs. They've started poorly, and Coach Paul Tanner, he'd be wanting quarter time as soon as possible because he needs to get these boys to spark up. Otherwise, they're going to give Aish and those boys opportunities. They'll be chasing their tails all day.
So kick in here for Onkers out towards the half-back flank. Bit of a floater. Gives Blackwood a chance because it's hit the deck. Could it be held in here for the Woods across the half-forward line? No, Onka's work it out nicely. It's been Jeffries. Sinot's the target, or Webber. Sinot, 1-2. Lovely work of the body there. Opens it up now for Onkas if they use it well. Kick towards the half-forward line, but Blackwood chop it off nicely there. And the player is Jack Baldacera Pistols, just in front of us here in the broadcasting position.
Yep, right in front of the Dreammaker. So Baldacera up the wing, sends it back to where it's going. Big leap there.
Great mark.
Zach George dead. Wasn't over the top. He's well known as an aerialist. That's a typical mark for him. Switches across
Opens
the
it up.
Chipiana on the opposite half-back flank area. So Chipiana been pretty good in the games we've seen Onkas this year.
Yep.
Goes up the wing area. Once again, good defence there by James Hopkins. Brings the ball. Green gets involved, gets it back to Conciglione. He's under pressure. He flicks out another handball.
Catfish.
To the Catfish and Vines. Finally a clearing kick up the line. Eluded Lockie Peter and out over the boundary line.
What do you notice, Colo?
Because they're just going to have to play a really precise game. They've got no tools forward. Tom Mayo's actually their full forward here today, so you know they've really got to execute their skills well going forward. And just at the moment, Blackwood's pressure's too good, and they're not being able to do that. So
Well,
full credit to the Woods.
Well, the Belby's their go-to man. He's kicked 11 goals this year, but hasn't seen much of it yet. Warbert nearly took it out of the air. Comes down into McCarthy. He's dispossessed, bouncing ball. A good cover there.
Oh, pin tackle.
Yeah. That was very clever by Troy Hocking, one of the youngsters that Dave Richardson spoke about pre-match. Interesting, boys. Aish has kicked 18 goals, well, 19 now, or 20 now, but coming this game had 18. Next best, 5 goals to McCready. It's like they're a one-man forward line, so if Onkas can shut down his influence, they might be halfway there. Meanwhile, clearing kick away, bouncing ball, attempted smothered by Dykesman, backed up by Onkas. Conciglione gets it back here.
Chris is on.
Gets it across out here. Bouncing ball to Carissa. Will it sit for him? Yes, he's got a paddock if he can steady. Straightens up and sends it long towards centre half forward position. Bennett's at the back of the pack, but in front. Look like McCready.
And
And
there's
there's
the
playing
problem
in defence
again for the
this
Bulldogs.
afternoon, Goldie.
Yep.
Just no tools to kick to, and good work by McCready as a midfielder to get back and fill the hole.
47 today, McCready. Normally 49 in the jumper, so if you're watching, Ben McCready is number 47 today.
Wouldn't match your TV guide that they've probably got next on.
Yep. Baldacera, he's under pressure here. Bennett, one-step
Oh.
kick, and the Dogs, good pressure. Shoal. Here's a chance for Onkas if they can work this out. Carissa goes at it hard. There's 3 Onkas. Oh, a bit of behind the play sort of stuff here. I'm
Yeah,
not sure
right
if
in
Wynn's
front of
getting
us.
it here.
Yeah, Matty T, the youngster, and Daniel Shell. 2 young bulls going at it.
So umpire says, let's just get
Oh.
on with it, but the other umpire's keeping an eye on it. Inside 50 for the Dogs. What can they do here? Greenslade goes to Carissa, up to Sinot, squaring kick out towards the other half-forward flank. Nice vision and
Yep.
finds the chip.
Was good vision as called by Benny Goldfinch here. So Chipiana.
What's he do here, Colo?
Well, they've got Dan Scholl forward now, but Dan's just had a wrestle, so he's standing in front of us doing nothing. Probably needs to get to the goal square and take a catch here. Terry Sleep's come on and gone into the ruck.
the big
and I reckon
sounder,
that's
yeah.
3
There's
Shell
some
to
big
go
targets down there.
So you're quite right having the tall timber in Shell down there. Could be a
Oh,
bonus.
he's found someone here, has he?
He's got a little bit of things over their head. The Blackwood defence, McCready was involved. It was Mayo. Comes out into Bilby, as I said, the goal kicker.
Set play. No.
And just off lost line, the leading goal kicker. So Onkas, they're 1-1. Blackwood is 3-3. 18.5 minutes gone here on Call of the Wild. And for the first time this afternoon, we might go down to the boys. Jaden and Indy. Good afternoon, boys.
Dude, they're great to be here. Indy,
Oh!
mate. I'm going very well, thank you very much. So right now, Onka with 33 kicks and 22 handballs. They're not getting dominated statistically. They're losing on the scoreboard, but still doing quite well in most key stats, but only 1 mark inside 50 and 7 inside 50s in general. So yeah, those lack of forward targets, as Colo mentioned a bit earlier, you can see that. And with a bit more composure, I think they'd be playing better. But what about Blackwood, Jaden?
Yep, so 25 kicks and 14 handballs, being beaten, but like Colo said, they're looking better than they were against Lobethal. So there's some stats for you boys.
Yeah, Zach Jordan just went for a big screamer in the middle of the ground. He's hurt himself, so Onkas will be a player down in that back half.
Onkas, attempted to kick out. I think it was Dean, was it, Colo? Kicked it in the man of the mark. He's having a shocker. Coccione with the hands feeds it out here. Dogs will get out of trouble. A very scrappy play there as Chipiana takes the mark in front of the barbecue shed. And it's good to see that it's up and about. Is it Zach
He went
George?
for a screamer.
Tried
Just
to
hit the
stand on the
deck.
shoulders and he come down
Gee,
pretty
sloppy.
high. Of course, you'd know about that, Shane, coming down from a big high moat.
Oh, only if someone dropped me out of a helicopter or something. But
So Matty Waldron with the free kick, and he'll take it right in front of the coaching staff for the Dogs. They'd be a bit worried at the moment. Puts towards the half-forward line. Big lead there from Atkinson. Followed up, couldn't grab it. Here's Chipiana. Gets across to a teammate who's quickly dispossessed. Cipriano backing up. Sells a bit of candy, looking for options. Finally, handballs back to Cozzolione. He's got support there. Oh, sloppy handball, missed the target completely. And I tell you what, some unforced errors creeping into the game here for the
well
Dogs.
done by the Woods too. They've really set up well, you know, holding the ball in their forward lines, and their pressure levels are through the roof, which is good for them.
So Blackwood, 3 goals 4. Onka's 1 goal 1. Another one here for the Woods to make it very interesting as we head towards the 21-minute mark here from a sun-drenched Balhannah Oval. Round 7 action, so only a few rounds left before finals. Big match for both sides. Onka's currently in the 3rd spot.
Oh.
Here's a chance for the Woods. McCready works the ball out towards the teammate there in Spawn.
Hopton.
And Hopton has a shot, and it's gone through for a minor score. So 3 goals 5, exact same conversion rate that the Woods kicked last week. 3 goals 5 in that first quarter against Nan. So Onkas bring the ball back in. Short pass into the back half area. And finds a teammate there in James Cornish. So Cornish, slow build up here. He'll kick out towards centre wing or half-back flank area. Ball hits the deck, half-forward line for the Woods. Clear and kick inside 50 for them through T. Dogs desperately trying to clear the ball. Dangerous position, barging his way free here. Snap on goal. Respawn, brilliant. We talked about his tattoos pre-match, and that's lovely work.
Yeah, it was fantastic work. It was great work off the stoppage, off of the contest there by Matty Waldron. Picked up a half volley, gave the give. Onkas are just sluggish, missing tackles, and full credit to Blackwood. They have come out here ready to play, season on the line, and I've been the first to be critical of them in recent weeks, but today they've been sensational. They've started this game really well, where Onkas are really on the back foot and not playing anywhere to the levels Paul Tanner would want them to.
So Blackwood looking to extend a winning streak here at Balhannah Oval, which existed since, well, last beaten here in round 9, 2013, so 6 years. And Blackwood certainly, as Shane Collins said, certainly putting every foot forward here and a chance to extend that, that's for sure. So umpire Hall in the centre as they gather in the lovely winter sun here at Balhannah Oval.
Has he got any zinc cream in there, mate? I'm struggling a bit out here.
Like Nan the other week. As ball comes out, McCready dispossessed. Ball comes out here to Quasira, shoots a handball across. Cipriano got it to Dean. Dean feeds it out here to a teammate.
Good pressure.
Blackwood just said the pressure building there. Hopton put his head over the football. Could have drawn a free kick. Still in there fighting at ground level. Getting a bit of scrambly. Umpire lurking. Finally says, I'll have it, boys, and ball it up. But yeah, as you said, the pressure just around the contest that Blackwood are bringing.
Good intensity from the Woods early. You can feel it here at ground level. 4 goals 5. They're leading Onkas 1 goal 1. What can the Dogs do here? They kick it towards the middle of the ground. At least they got it here. Greenslade goes to Lockie Peter. Kick inside 50. Opens it up. Mayo's around the action. He's 1-on-1 against Dunn in the pocket. Dunn tries to work it out. Keeping his feet there was Mayo. Goes with a short pass. Bilby dropped what he should have taken near the scoreboard. He's got support here through Greenslade. What can he do? And he's missed.
Oh, the Onkas number 7 don't miss them. It's a little bit better build up. Well done by Mayo 1-on-1 there, but just again, sloppy. Bilby should have marked that ball. Onkas just not at the top of their game, but give a bit of credit to Blackwood here. Their pressure's been sensational.
Wasn't there a 7-point return at Nan Oval one day?
For who, sorry?
A famous number 7?
Twice. Once at Harndorf, once at Blackwood.
There you go. That's why.
Thanks for bringing that up.
That led you to set up your own academy for kicking. It's a kick out, finds Dunn, 1 bite, 2 bites, takes the mark.
Just a little bit too easy there.
It was. Goes across the other long sleever in Hopton's, James Hopton, who's a late inclusion with the mission back injury of Scotty Bricknell. So Hopton half back flank area, a bit undecided, runs himself into big trouble here.
Oh no!
Finally gets around Peter, then kicks it long in front of the dog out. Pack comes down.
That's catching on.
Good attack on the ball there. Well, we are at the Dogs this time, so it's in its right spot. Nan Oval, dog there, wasn't it? Yes. So umpire will come in the ball
just
up.
Sloppy again, though. Pistols on the mark. I mean, Lockie Peter should have wrapped that up. Should have been a free kick for holding the ball, but just not quite at the top of their game at the moment, the Dogs.
No, you can pick that up. Be interesting to hear what Dingo has to say at quarter time. Just
I reckon we'll hear him from here.
Yeah, I think we will. We don't even need to get the mic out there. It's just not quite on here. The Dogs
have to get the 7-second delay button on, boys.
Everything to play for. They're looking to lock in a top 3 spot. Blackwood looking to cement, strengthen their spot in the top 5 and potentially move into a top 3 calculation here. So, Onkas Terry Sleep goes in the middle of the ground, finds Greenslade. Just need another goal here before quarter time, the Dogs, so that they can just reassess what's happened in this first term. Greenslade kicks it out towards, well, he's pinpointed a Blackwood player, or a couple of Dogs just watched it happen. Kick towards the half-forward line, and Blackwood can reload there near the canteen area.
Young Isaac McCormick there, Goldie getting involved, as Dave Richardson said pre-match. Son of the great man, Simon McCormick, who took, of course, won the Marl medal with a
superstar.
Huge margin. Also took one of the best marks in a grand final.
Remember it well.
But he probably does too with the resultant kick. But anyway, actions now. Come down to Sleep. Oh, well done. The big fella followed up. Flicks out the handball to Andy Vines. Under pressure, gets a high kicker towards the wing here. So Blackwood defence back there. And getting back is Daniel Bennett's, as Goldie said. Back from Ardrossan, where he spent last year. Chips across to Spawn.
Kicked a goal.
Spawn on the edge of the cricket pitch, draws a opponent, gets across here to Baldacera. He handballs back to a teammate there. Coach in Anderson, always good to handball in. Comes back to Baldacera. Sells a bit of candy as he got around Sinot. Puts it high, out looming his ace. Pushed under the ball there. Free kick, no. Chipiana handballs to a teammate back there. Finally deep in the back.
Oh, chop out. Nice work.
Chop out
nice
there.
Work.
Well done. Just when the Dogs look like they're going to clear
Liam McCarthy, I think.
Yeah, good job by Blackwood's forward lines. I mentioned pre-game about the young Onka's back lines. They're just making some silly errors, but well done to Blackwood again. They really moved the ball forward with too much ease then.
Boundary throw-in inside 50 here for Blackwood. So we talked about the Dogs needing one before quarter time. It's Blackwood now inside their forward 50. What can the Dogs do here as they try and clear it through Greenslade? Sweeping handball out. Once again, Blackwood's forward pressure, stopping Onkas from moving the ball out. Desperate stuff there from Blackwood. Coming through was big Terry Sleep. It's like a wall of Woods players just holding the ball inside 50 there. And it's held up.
Big Sleep's made a difference.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I think could give them the momentum around the packs if they're good enough to take the ball away. But in the meantime, in the background, you can hear the quarter-time siren has sounded, Goldie. So pretty impressive opening term if you're a Blackwood supporter and you're watching or listening. They lead 4-5-29. Onka Valley 1 goal, 2. 8 goal kickers that quarter. Ace on fire with 2. Daniel Benson and Spawn, and Onka's only goal coming through the agency of Lockie Peter at the 4-minute mark. So, yeah, long drought between actually shots at goal. Said only 1 goal, 2 for the quarter. So
John Douglas, the great man, he's tuned in. He says he's looking forward to a great game. So, yeah, 21 points the margin here. Blackwood, 9 scoring shots to 3 Pistols. So, haven't quite made the most of their opportunities, similar to last week where they kicked 7 goals, 14 against Nambrema United. Jaden and India just tallying up their stats at ground level, got the iPads out.
I tell you what, they might, Shane Collins said, might need the sunburnt green one because very good conditions.
6 degrees last week.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you what it is now. So 6 degrees at Harndorf.
Bring all the info here on
what
Footy.
The temperature is at Balhannah Oval here.
Okay, but good crowd in the house, that's for sure. Enjoying some very good
you ready, lads?
Sunshine football. And without further ado, we'll go down to Jaden and Indy for the stats that matter.
14 degrees, by the way.
14 degrees, boys, so rug up.
Cheers to that. So, yeah, some great play by Blackwood in that quarter. Like I mentioned earlier in that quarter, they just were so good compared to against Loberthal. They just were moving the ball a whole lot better, faster. Even though they got beaten in the kick count, 39 kicks and 27 handballs, and I'll get Indy's point of view of the game. Surely they'll just move the ball a whole lot better, and it's just under 75% efficiency inside 50 as well. So there's been 13 inside 50s for 9 scoring shots. So here's Indy for more game analysis.
Well, the matchup in the midfield hasn't been too distant between the two teams. In fact, Onkas actually have more kicks and handballs than Blackwood at the moment, 44-39 and 38-27 respectively. This is also paired with similar tackle numbers, 28-23. So those midfields are neck and neck right now. But really, where the Dogs are losing it at the moment is down the spine. They just can't hit any targets up forward. Only 1 mark inside 50. And in all fairness, Blackwood with only 2, but they just had so much more composure going forward with the ball. And I feel like Onkas maybe fell off a bit when they were getting disposals into that inside 50. It was also 8 inside 50s to 13, which doesn't sound like a big difference, but at this stage of the game, it's a tackle fest, it's low inside 50s. You need to make the most of those entries. So the clearance work is even, the disposal work is even. It's all about strengthening down the spine.
Got any, oh, yep, Jaden, you go.
Oh, just some stats for the quarter stats. So Onka scored 1 goal to 8, and that's the equal lowest first quarter score this year, which was they scored 8 against Nan as well. And also Blackwood scored 4 goal 5, 29, which is Onka's second highest against quarter score, which is 49, which Local scored in round 1. And for Blackwood, this was their second highest quarter score for the year, their highest being 32 in round 5. So yeah, so there's some quarter stats for you as well, and some head-to-head stats as well.
Yeah, head-to-head.
Yeah, so Joel H has had, we're tracking Joel H today, so he's had 5 kicks, 2 marks, 3 tackles and 2 goals as well. Kicked an absolute ripper of a goal on the boundary line. And also McCready's had a couple kicks and a few handballs and had about 5 tackles as well. Just their pressure in defensive 50 is just so good, Blackwood. Indy?
Yeah, so the head-to-head for Onkas. Right now, Tim Webber, he's got 5 disposals next to his name, but he doesn't seem to be playing too much contested football because he didn't actually lay a single tackle in that quarter, surprisingly. And then there's Dan Scholl in the ruck, who's been trying really hard. He's been playing in different positions across the ground, but it's just been really difficult for him at the moment. Only 3 disposals, and he's also struggled to mark too much, but they're also losing the hit-out work, 10 hit-outs to 19, so that would be somewhat of a concerning sign for Onkas.
Good stuff.
Thank you guys.
Colo's just having a chat to the umpire here, Pistols.
Yeah, we're trying to cue him up, and there is, what's he getting his wallet out? Just slipping a couple of bucks. But anyway, we'll go down to Shane Collins.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Lucky I turned the microphone off, as we thought Paul Tanner might have thrown a few words out that we might need the beep button, but he is very disgusted in his players. He was quite vocal about their effort, and just the simple things like looking after each other and working harder, where they were sort of sitting off and hoping they would get the ball rather than working hard to get the ball themselves. On the other hand, the Blackwood camp, very professional, and they went about. Obviously, they're quite happy. They've started really well. Interesting, Matt Thomas there, past player for them, looking after their mids, and their forwards. He talked a lot about their stoppage work as well, and just tightening up a little bit on that. So we'll see how this quarter heads for the Bulldogs.
Good early intent by Damien Green, earns a free kick, Pistols.
Absolutely. Handballs off to Matty. Dean goes long as the Dogs go towards the back end in this second term. They need to get a hurry on. Bouncing ball, eludes young Pike. Gathered there for Blackwood. Tripped across, I think that was Johnson. Got it to a teammate there in Hopton, I think it's in the long sleeve, James Hopton. Yep. Deep in the back pocket, front of the Shane Collins picket fence. Goes across back to a teammate. Finds him deep in the back pocket. Might be Matty T, I think, youngster. So T works the ball up in front of the barbecue shed. Big leap there.
Oh, chop.
Good mark
Just
there.
chop out there. I'll come and have that.
Yeah, that was Dunn, I think it was. So Nathan Dunn. High kick towards the coaching box area. Wing up, big leap there. Was Jeffries, and follows up at ground level. Intercepting there was McCready.
Oh,
good tough work. So it's Benson.
He's doing all pirouettes and turns and
in the
everything.
meantime, ball turned over. Here's a chance for the Dogs.
Jeffries.
Caught by Jeffries towards the top of the goal square. The pocket. Cocciglione was in the box seat, but no free kick there. Ball comes back here, taken by young Pike. His kick is smothered. Blackwood through Waldron, get it back there to the runner McCready, who's working hard in defence. Up the line, bouncing ball, grabbed well by Webber. He's got support when he goes into the catfish, gives him a big challenge as he set upon round the corner to Johnny Green. Slade. Will it carry over to the defenders? No, it doesn't. Taken right in the line by James Hopton for Blackwood.
So the Dogs started well. 2 minutes gone, had the ball mainly inside their forward 50 to start this term. Scholl on hands and knees, trying to keep it inside attacking 50 for the Dogs, tied onto the boundary line. The chip kicks it towards a dangerous position for the Dogs, coming over the crop. There was Blackwood, play ball, hits the deck. Dangerous position, here's a chance. Snap round the corner from Webber. And once again, Blackwood last line, they had 4 players on the line ready to take a mark there.
Well, the intent's been better from the Doggies, they just haven't scored.
Kick out towards the halfback flank. Dykesman, lovely mark. The skipper, tied on the boundary line.
And was included in West Adelaide's under-18 team of the decade, boys. Bit of a stat for you. Good if you do your research.
Dykesman, there you go, brought something to the table.
You left us hanging.
Jake Atkinson's the target. Good spoil out towards the boundary line there. And Onkas see the ball out of centre wing. 3 minutes gone, second quarter action. It's Blackwood 4 goals 5, Onkas 1 goal 2. Onka's solitary goal kicker is Lockie Peter. Benson has kicked 1, Aish has kicked 2, and Spawn 1 for the Woods, all in the first term.
Shelter Leaper got the tap down. Matty Dan touching the fumbles, manages to get out of it. Intercepted nicely by Benson, I think it is. He's been up and about, as called by Goldie. amongst the goals and also around the hard stuff. Once again, the umpire Lawless will set it up. Shoulder leaper, got the time there. No one in general. Comes back out here to Blackwood, clearing kick. Up the line, bit of push and shove.
Nice,
and Sinnott
nice.
Used his body well to take it against Dykesman, the team of the century
yep,
boy.
just.
Chips it in the centre and finds Johnny Greenslade, of course, special guest a few weeks ago on Hills Footy Unplugged. He decides to go right across the ground. And
Kuiper, is it?
Kuiper, is it?
Gee, he's done a good job on the mark there. He's
Just coughs up Matty Dean. Big challenge for him. Here's a chance if it sits for Anderson. In the meantime, free kick has been paid back here. So Onka's quickly bring the ball across the ground and finds Sinnott, who virtually started that movement, Goldie.
And similar sort of position. Greenslade in the middle of the ground.
I think Sinnott's gone back and Mitch Cocciolone's gone forward, just a change up there for the doggies.
Just feel like the Dogs get one here and then they can start to really build momentum. Scholl kicks it out towards the wing area, finds a teammate. Jeffries gets onto that right boot, kick inside 50. Cocciolone's the target. Good chop out from the woods. What can they do here? Tuck goes to Bennett, sweeping handball out. Goes to Spawn. Meantime, kick towards centre wing. Kuiper, ball hits the deck. Could have been a bit of tunnelling there. He earns a free kick just in front of Dingo Tanner. And the Dogs are on here through Greenslade.
So Johnny, a worm burner. Scooped up well by the Catfish and Vise now towards the pocket area.
Just that kick inside 50.
Terrible entries.
Getting back there's Matty T, the youngster. First season of A-grade football, chips it across. I think once again it's James Hopton taking a mark in the opposite back pocket right in front of the members' pavilion and the picket fence. Actually, they're all in under the veranda. They should be out enjoying the sun here this afternoon.
Beautiful conditions.
As the ball tipped up the line. Target was done, I think. He's dispossessed close to the boundary line. In fact, has paid too high right in front of the barbecue shed. There's a
bit of feeling
showing,
here.
showing their distaste. I think they're throwing some raw sausages at the umpire over there at the moment. Come on.
Umpires today, Andrew Lawless and Nathan Hall.
I think it might be Bennett's in the distance, the former Jocelyn Boy, as Goldie said, part of the 2017 breakthrough premiership win for the Woods. Chips the ball high. Up there, Hopton was the intended target, but good defence by Onkas. Puts it over the boundary line right between the two dogouts, Goldie, at the interchange area.
6 minutes gone. All the play's been in the forward half of the ground for the Dogs. Haven't got a goal on the board yet to start us in this second term. Warbett grabs it out the ruck, snaps it. Intended target there was the coach and Ryan Anderson. Goes in with the leg, and it's held up just near Coach Tanner and the coaching box of the Dogs.
Actually, Shane, with the weather conditions there, there's only been one goal kicked at the tennis court end, and we've played a quarter and 5 minutes. So, yeah, is there any significant wind?
Certainly not wind, as we said about the dead pocket over here, but there hasn't been too much ball out this way. Purely and simply, Blackwood dominated the first quarter, Onkas have dominated the second, but they just haven't put it on the scoreboard.
Jeffries goes to Cocciolone, kicks it towards the half-forward line. Intended target there was the youngster in Pakes, chopped out by Baldazero, who started pretty well. Kicks it out towards Dykesman. What can he do here? Went through his legs, picked up by Kuiper. Goes back to Sinnott, who's got a few touches to start this second term. Cocciolone was the target. It's gone to Baldazero, though, for the Woods. Lovely handball. They open it up here. McCready on that left. Kick inside 50. Kuiper went up with the 1 mitt and then wraps up Joel Aish. And it's a free kick here for Aish, and I reckon he'll go back here and have a shot.
Yeah, very muddy here, though, as we said pre-game. He's in the bog here, so it'll take his best kick from this area. But once again, and Blackwood's delivery, they're far better than what the Bulldogs are, and Aish was in a prime position.
So he's kicked two at the other end of the ground, and as Shane Collins said, his first shot at the tennis court, Balhannah end of the ground. So Joe Aish, of course, appeared with us on Hills Footy Unplugged earlier in the year.
Jacob Carrizza just letting him know how soft that area is.
Oh, he's got it well, though.
He takes on board what he has to say.
Just doesn't carry. Spawn keeps alive in the goal square, looks support, comes out here, gathered there by Webber. Got a handball out to a teammate. Clearing kick was Jeffries.
Cocciolone was off.
It, but somehow retained the mark. Here's good play, got it to Bilby. Eyes light up as he goes towards forward.
Lovely mark. That's good movement.
That's a good contested mark there by Tommy Mayo. He was all over that as it came in.
You can see Cocciolone was keen to move the ball on quickly there because it's ended with Mayo.
He almost went with it. Complete the mark behind his back.
They're just scratchy at the moment, but that's how Onkas want to play, and that's how they'll win the game today. Is fast ball movement from the back half or from the midfield and get it into open space. They don't have any height forward with Adcock out today, so this is the prime example of how they need the game played.
So Tommy Mayo, not a multiple
There
goal
we
kicker
go.
this year, but he's
Well
on the board
deserved.
with a single goal. So as Goldie said, a well-deserved team goal, that one. So at the 7-8 minute mark, they get their second goal. Onka's Valley Doggies, they're 2-2. Blackwood a 4-5 here on Call the Wild on hillsfooty.com. Trust you're enjoying our worldwide coverage. How do we get involved, Goldie?
Hills Footy League Facebook page. Just click on the link that's up the top. Or hillsfooty.com. Just click on the link. Watch live or listen live. And
What have we got the Jeffries family perhaps in Canberra?
yeah, let us know where you're coming in from on the YouTube feed or the Facebook feed. We'll go to Jaden and Indy shortly. They just got the iPads out, just working out the stats to start us in the second term. Pistols.
So back in the centre, Shell up high, got the tap out, snared by Benson, wasting no time. One step, bang up towards half forward, coming out was Dykesman. He read
He did that brilliantly.
Very well to skipper, hooks over the shoulder towards the top of the goal. It's Big Atkinson. Uses his body well.
Some players down here for the Woods, maybe a shoulder.
Oh, keep an eye on that. Could it be Dykesman, the captain?
That was a fantastic...
Could well be, as meanwhile Atkinson, Jake Atkinson with the ball.
He opted to not go to the contest there, crumbed it brilliantly.
He snuck, we got a camera angle here would show he is snuck beautifully here. Nice around into the right-hand side.
Yeah, the firm are gathering.
Yeah,
So
well done.
Jake Atkinson, chance to kick...
One of the key players in their premiership a few years ago.
Kick.
Lovely kick.
Lovely
Lovely
so
kick.
Jake Atkinson opens the account for Blackwood in the second term. So goes to 5-5. Onka Valley at 2-2.
Yeah, Dykesman in trouble there.
Yeah.
After that was a fantastic crumb.
It was.
And he set that goal up, but really well done by the big fella there, Atkinson. That's the difference with experience. Blake Fanning standing the mark should have been making the umpire alert of what he's trying to do, but instead just stood there quietly. Atkinson snuck a nice 5-metre, entry back into the middle of the ground and kicked the goal. So well done again to the Woods.
He should have been doing like you were doing at quarter time, making the umpire alert.
Exactly. You've got it. Well, you
Just
do.
give him some advice, Shane.
You've got to play the smarts in this game, and it does help. It just puts the query in the mind, and I'm sure they would have had a second look at it. But so too good at the moment, Blackwood, and well done to them.
So Cheryl Warbert, Cheryl to Leaper, got a nice palm down to Webber, who gets a quick kick away for the Dogs. This is Bennett. Not paid, yeah. I thought it was good. It comes to his partner in crime, Waldron. Got it back to James Hopkins, who chips it across here, taken by young Matt T, a juggling one-hander in the end, as Damien Green closed in. So Matty T, first full season of senior football, chips it across here, looking in the centre.
Opens it up.
Finds a teammate there in McCarthy. I think it is. He goes wider out here in front of the Dreammaker. Good tackle applied there on Jeffries. Coming to help him was Bell. Right in front of the Dreammaker. Getting involved there is McCormick. Pushing the ball towards the cricket net pocket. Still keeps it in play. McCormick got it headed to Hopton, who tried, I don't know what that was. Bouncing ball gathered by Atkinson. He's wrapped up Maribel Rodeo style by Fanning in the end. But some interesting work along the boundary there by McCormick, Goldie.
Yep, Hocking involved as well. Looks a likely tight. Inside 50 here for the Woods. Dangerous position for them. Sun right in our eyes. Dogs trying to clear the ball here. Once again, Woods forward pressure holding the ball in there. 5-5. They lead 35 to Onka's 2 goals, 2-14. 12 minutes gone in the second quarter here.
Just a quick quarter time score, boys.
Yep.
And, it looks like Nan Bremer this week sort of faced her off. Harndorf 6-5, Nan yet to score.
Dogs clear the ball outside of the defensive 50. Putting up the mids there was Bennett. Going in nicely was Peter. Woods, though, through McCarthy. Dangerous ball here. What's going to happen? Scholl gets it out towards Lockie Peter. Opens it up, kicks it towards centre wing. He's got a teammate here in Mayo. Went one way then the other. Opted to go with the kick inside 50. But the Woods dropping back there and a good mark through James Hopton.
Well done by him.
Hopton switches play out dangerously. Anderson's the target. Chipiana's around the area as well. Good work from the Chip. Brilliantly work done by the Chip. Handball over the top. The Dogs in the position here. Pake. Lovely work from the blonde man. Little bit of a short pass. And physicality holding the ball in. And that's where it's going to stay. Just near the
Full
club room.
credit to Blackwood's defence work there. That was sensational work. James Hopton to sprint back and mark that ball. He was the first player back there in front of all the Onka's forwards.
Good work by young Pake, the blind turn in mid-air. As he gets the ball now, he's wrapped up in the tackle, finally dispossessed.
Oh, he's
in
caught
the
a throw.
meantime, illegal disposal apparently for the youngster. So free kick to be taken by Anderson, I think it is. Or McCready?
McCready.
McCready gets the ball across here.
Baldessera, he's been good.
Sells a bit of candy as he got around Leone, puts up the wing area here,
Lovely
picks out
kick.
Benson. Benson's just having a very good game this afternoon, puts it up towards Atkinson, in front is Fanning. Followed up well by Benson, shrugs off a tackle, puts his head down, draws a free kick. No, it could have been too high, but umpire Hall shakes his head and says, I'll have it, boys. So Benson certainly getting involved here this afternoon. Goal kicker and providing pretty good midfield drive. So Atkinson will do the ruck work. Got it down his McCready, quick hands out here. Comes out here to Catford. Dispossessed but got his kick away. Fanning just punches it over the line just up from the dream maker here. It's come up to 13 and a half minutes gone second term. Blackwood 5-5, Onka Valley 2-2 on Calderwold. Trust you're enjoying our worldwide coverage.
Next goal, very important. It's 21 points now for the Woods. They answered the early goal from the Dogs. 14 minutes gone, second quarter action. Just a bit of an arm wrestle now. So
just from Onka's point of view too, Zach Jordan, after that hit to the head early in the game, has been on the bench for this quarter, so might be feeling the effects of that big hanger he tried to take.
Stoppage, Warbett palms it over the back to James Catford, who's back in the lineup this year for the Woods after a bit of travelling.
Looks like a bit of a talented musician, Goldie.
That's what I've heard. Yeah. Ruck contest, Scholl wins it down. Jeffries, hard at it there was McCready as well. Webber, chain of handballs. Dean goes to Carissa along the boundary line, keeps it in, and it's gone out of bounds. Eventually, Cocciolone sees it out of bounds. Centre wing. 15 minutes gone, midway through the second quarter. It's 21 points the margin. The Woods leading.
So good crowd in the house. Pretty entertaining game of football being played in very good conditions for August, that's for sure. So Boundary Academy boy pitches the ball back in. Warbett, Shell down the top. Overrunning was the Catfish coming through strongly there. Blackwood player finally comes to Carissa. Ball spills up. Well done by McCarthy. Got out to Benson. He was taken high as he kicked it over the shoulder. So the result free kick will go to Phil Hopton. Hopton rules out, but in the meantime,
costly.
He's picked out a, did Kuiper run over the mark? Not sure there, but Hopton the recipient there, and this will take him from the wing half-forward area, Goldie, right to the goal square, and you can chalk this one down for number 6 as he completes the task. So 6-5 Blackwood lead Onka Valley 2-2.
Jaden and Indy go down to use it, lads, as we head towards probably the midway point of this second quarter, and the Woods skip away.
Yeah, cheers, Goldie. Yeah, so 22 kicks, 10 handballs and 12 marks there for Blackwood in this quarter. I'll throw down to Indy, but just after Indy's spoken, I'll just give some quarter stats.
Yeah, so 30 kicks for Onka, 25 handballs and 12 marks. Once again, the way they're losing this game right now, a little bit of lack of physicality when the ball goes against their will, but also have to note once again, only one mark inside 50 at the moment. They really need to start getting those forward targets if they're to stage a comeback.
And also, so Blackwood averaged 15.6 as their score in the second quarter, and they only average a score of 11.8 against. And so that's telling in this quarter that Onkers haven't scored as much in this quarter. So there's a quarter stat split there, boys.
So back in the middle, important period in the match. The lead's gone out now. 6 goals, 5. The Woods, 2 goals, 2. The Dogs. So it's inside 50 here for Onkers. Clearing kick from Bennett. Woods defence holding up nicely. McCready brilliantly worked down the Yarn Warbett. Kicks in the middle of the ground, chopped out by Jeffries. He goes to the half-forward line to the Catfish. Andy Vines, one step, bang, inside 50, forward pocket area. Mayo's the target. What can he do here? Usually works at the... he's handball doing... I thought
that was going to be magic, Shane Collins, around the goal point post.
He certainly has a bag full of tricks, old Tommy, but...
That's fantastic.
Couldn't fool them then.
That's almost goal of the year.
So just noticed we've actually got an ambulance over at the Onkers box. I reckon Zach might have given his head a good knock. So
good.
Just for those watching, I think he's all okay. He's talking to him, so
good to see. So the boundary umpire brings it in. Pocket area. Scholl over the back, got the tap down to Onka's teammate.
I've been really impressed with Blackwood's defence today, as much as they've obviously. They've hit the scoreboard, but their defence work's been fantastic. They're not giving Onkers any easy looks at all.
Of course, missing the general and Bricknell, and of course Thompson as well.
Yeah.
Handballed out there by McCready.
Oh, it's a goal.
There's a chance here. Carissa,
I just say that, and then they go and throw one out.
So I'm taking the opportunity there of an errant, clearance handball, I think it was from McCready.
Colo, to say that was needed is an understatement.
Yeah, absolutely. They looked very lethargic, the doggies. That was a you know, that was just a poor handball by the Blackwood defence. But in general, they've been sensational and thoroughly deserve this 21-point lead that they're holding at the moment. But Onkas do have firepower. They wouldn't want to rest. Onkas could put some score on the board, but they would need to certainly improve from how they've played already today.
So, Sleep in the ruck.
Shoal's gone forward.
Shoal's gone forward. He's a standout, that's for sure, in that forward line for the Dogs. So back in the middle. Neutral, probably Warburton won that one. Handball out. Here's Tuck on that left boot. Kicks towards the half-forward line. Chopped out by Joffa Jeffries. Got some touches in this second term. Dogs need another one here. Need back-to-back to build a bit of momentum as they head towards half-time. Lockie Peter kicked the opening goal of the match for the Dogs. Kicks it towards the half-forward line, or basically wing. Big Terry Sleeps around the action for the Dogs. Here's a chance. Shoal, the big man, around the action. Sinot for the Dogs, goes to a teammate there.
Cornish.
James Cornish, kicks towards the half-forward line. What would Blackwood's defence do here? Usually done it well all day. Here's Tuck, goes to Baldacera for Blackwood. Joffa's backing back, takes the mark. Starting to get some good touches here, Joffa.
So the experienced Jeffries nurses up the wing area, finds Greenslade equally experienced. Oh, that's a pinpoint to the centre of the ground, finds Jack Cornish, fishing on the cricket pitch area, undecided, and finally goes out wide. Oh, it gives Kuiper a chance here. Bouncing ball, he manages to gather it, then he in turn nurses it up the line and finds Andy Vines. So Vines, Dogs pushing forward. Can they get another one before half-time? That's a pinpoint kick out wide here. It's picked out Carissa, the last goal kicker for the Dogs. He's got
Have a shot, son.
Yeah, runs off his mark, sets sail.
Have a shot, son.
Why would you worry about the short pass?
Have a shot, son.
When you can do that, Shane Collins. Back-to-back goals for Carissa and the Dogs. 4-2 plays at 6-5.
Yeah, that just opened. The seas parted for him. He was standing there waiting for someone to drop on him, I think. But he had an eternity there to take off. But yeah, young Jacob Carissa, he's been an Onkas boy through and through, but sort of in his mid-20s now. He's played a lot of B-grade footy, but his last month in the A-grade has been very good. And
is that just a confidence thing for him, Shane?
Yeah, I think so. Coach Paul Tanner's put a lot of confidence in him, told him he can have the wing in the A-grade, and he's just got to play consistent footy. He's second best, I think, 2 weeks ago, and gotten the best players, or just missed last week. So he's been playing some good footy, and he's kicked 2 good goals this quarter.
Well, he certainly proved he's a good finisher there, and said he's kicked consecutive goals now for the Dogs. 2 of their 3 goals this quarter. So back in the centre, umpire Hull pitches up Sleep against War, but Sleep got it down. There's a chance for McCready. Handball was cut off nicely by the man at the moment.
He's on
Carissa, he goes long.
Champagne footy.
And Carissa, you are a champion. Certainly the confidence building there.
Chopped out.
Chopped out, so they've turned it over. So Blackwood feeding the ball out here towards the Catford. Catford and Chipiana there. Ball caught up at ground level. Catford following it up. But, just bringing it undone there. But the excitement machine, Carissa.
Yep, Dan Scholl just with the chop out pass there. So Blackwood. Indy, Onka's starting to get on top here in this, say, the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, they've definitely improved a little bit with their forward conversion, particularly that centre clearance there. It just felt very, it was very much risk and reward, but at least they took it on instead of, trying to play the preserving game and go out wide. So maybe it's taking more risks, but it's also just delivering with a bit more cleanliness.
Joffa's around the action. He's been good in this term, holding up firm in defence. Kuiper's lurking around the action, taken by Fanning on hands and knees. This is a big ball. It's a half-forward line for Blackwood, and they hold it there. Oh, a bit of push and shove. Greenslade and
Hopton,
Hopton.
Yeah.
Just letting each other know about it. And the umpire says play on. Ball's the target, lads.
I just get a feeling here, Shane. You can feel the Dogs are lifting for the last 5 or so minutes.
Yeah, like I said before, Blackwood will just need to keep the pressure up, and they'll be okay because they've done a really good job. But they can't let Onkas get back into the game.
Just near the cricket pitch area, Warbett wins it down. Cornish, he's got some touches. Not 15, says the umpire. And McCormick's wrapped up in the tackle.
Sorry, that easy chest mark. Sorry, son. Not the required distance, said umpire Hill. So he'll come and ball up. So Sleep against Warbett. Sleep got it down. Ground level. Picked up there was Tuck. Tries to bully his way through. And held up, so once again umpire Hall will come in and balled up. So 22 minutes just ticked over in the second term. 4-2 plays 6-5. So what's that, a 15-point margin favour of the Woods. Comes out here to the man at the moment. Carissa, quick hands, got it out here to Vines and going back to Carissa. He's unloaded
lovely.
as he got it, but good work there by Webber. Traps the ball in under against.
Brilliantly by Webber.
Yeah,
That's
against
superb.
Balhannah. Got out here to Greenside and turned.
Absolutely brilliant.
Cornish sold a bit of can there. Was Peter, then a high kick towards the pocket area, body on body. I think it was Mayo got his
Could have
hands to
been
it and
held on
spilled
there.
it. Yeah, and the chip was lurking as the ball went over in front of the members' pavilion, the Shane Collins picket fence.
They can sense something here.
So the crowd under there would be just hoping the Dogs can get one before half-time. I said 23 minutes gone. They trail by 15 points. Umpire puts it in over the top. Shell, great tap down, but stolen by Blackwood through the agency of Spawn. Got to a teammate with a clearing kick up the wing area. Big leap there from Hopton. He goes to ground under pressure. Ball bounces out over the boundary line in front of the Blackwood coaching box. It's a 23.5 gone, 6-5 plays 4-2.
So boundary umpire will throw the ball in. 24-minute mark. Good game of football. 10 goals kicked in the opening half so far. The Woods currently in 5th position with 2 wins, and Onka's in 3rd with 3 wins and a draw. So plenty to play for with a few rounds remaining before finals. Just in front of Blackwood's interchange bench. Just seen the ambulance leaving the ground. So stoppage. Jan Warbett wins it down. McCarthy's around the action. A couple of Dogs set upon him. Goal kickers so far. Joel Aish's kicked 2. Spawn's kicked 1. Phil Hopton's kicked 1. Atkinson's kicked 1. And Benson's kicked 1. And goal kickers for the Dogs. Peter, Mayo, Carissa, he's kicked 2. So stoppage, Warbett. Lovely ruck work. Finds a teammate there and Tuck kicks it towards the half-forward line. Ball hits the deck of Fanning. Dogs desperately trying to clear the ball out here. Snap round the corner from Catford. Dangerous position. Aish is the target. Ball hits the deck. Blackwood, have they got Crummers? Ball's fumbling around. Clearing kick out of defence from Dogs. So it'll be a race in 4 here, Pistols.
Yeah, McCormick gets it. Then he's dispossessed. Bilby comes in. He's tackled well by McCormick, who backed up well. Finally comes Carissa. He's held up. Oh, clever hand out there by Johnny Greenside. Found Carissa. He finishes up the line. Coming across there was Hopton, and he nurses
They have
the ball
just
over
picked
the
their
line.
way back into the game here, the Doggies. Carissa's done a lot of it on his own, but also Greenslade and Webber getting their hands on the footy, which is important for the Bulldogs.
So throwing will be Shell against the big man from Blackwood in that Warbett. Academy boy pitches it high. Warbett in front position. Shell outreaches him. Comes down into the slug and green. He's held up. Got rid of the ball. In the meantime, the umpire said no. Too long, so I think it's Tuck with the free kick. Puts it up the line to Catford on the wing area. Takes it on Pingra Valley right side of the ground. Shields his eyes from the sun, which is unusual in August. Studying what's on offer. Looks pretty packed, so he'll kick up the line. High ball. Hopton's the target in opposition to Fanning, and takes a pretty easily mark in the end. Wheels on that right foot, goes towards the true centre.
Lovely kick.
And finds Benson, who's drifted into space unattended, Goldie. And so Daniel Benson the chance to kick his second goal of the match. He kicked the first one of the game 43 seconds in, so that's a chance to kick.
Coach Balhannah just smashed his fist down on the bench in there. Really, really disappointing last 30 seconds there, but well done to the Woods, just down the line, played discipline, and good mark by Hopton, and set his team up for a shot on goal, and they should go in with this goal on the siren.
So Benson will take this kick, obviously, after the siren. His side lead by 15 points, chance to make it 21. So Benson allowed for the win, but too far as it's drifted across through for a minor score. So pretty entertaining quarter of football there, Goldie.
Yeah, we've got a
Onka's kicking 3 and 2 to Blackwood.
Half-time guest coming up, but we might as well go to Indy and Jaden here at ground level, who just got the iPads before we go to the Colo with his chat.
So
Indy
Jaden J, take it away.
Cheers, thanks Pistols. So yeah, 34 kicks there for Blackwood, 16 handballs and 15 marks. Against Lobie in round 3, they had 27 inside 50s. They only had 7 inside 50s in that quarter. And their highest average score against Onkas in the last 5 games in their second quarter is 20. So that was good by Onkas. And in the second quarters in the last 5 games against Blackwood, they've had scores of 8, 9, 6, 6, and 8, and they had a score of 18 in that second quarter. So that's improvements there for Onkas. 23 tackles, 12 hitouts, and 2 centre clearances to round out Blackwood's stats. Indy, your game analysis, mate?
Well, Onka's definitely improved a little bit in that quarter, but only baby steps with that. 49 kicks and 39 handballs to the 34 kicks and 16 handballs that Blackwood got in that quarter. Once again, I think what they're really struggling with is they take a lot of those risks down the line, but Blackwood's defense are really good at intercepting the ball and cutting it off with ease. And I think it is getting to that stage where they're not going to be able to win the game if they keep rushing these forward 50 entries in. Maybe they're a little too high and loopy, but I also think another area they could potentially improve in, just hitting those short options like they did in that quarter would really help.
Well, it's back to you guys.
Good on you, Jaden and Indy. As we said, half time here, Onka Valley 4-2-26, Blackwood 6-6-42, so a 16-point margin in favour of the Blackwood Football Club. Now, we like to do things in a family way here, so yeah, we'll cross down to Shane Collins with some important family members out here at the Blackwood Football Club. So, Shano, take it away, mate.
Thanks, Pistols, and could have given me a box here. I feel a bit small next to these big Onka's boys. So, yeah, we welcome, obviously, the Onka Valley president, Andrew Adcock, and his son, Jake Adcock, who obviously has played in the A grade this year. We might start with you, Jake. Obviously not playing today, mate. You know, what's the reason for that?
Yeah, so last week we were playing here against Achunga and just had a set shot and popped my quad. So just out of the blue, and so probably a couple of weeks off, I reckon.
And just on the way the boys have been playing, we'll talk about today in a minute, but, you know, the last few weeks, slowly been some improvement, but you'd be really disappointed to be missing. You've been in real good form yourself.
Yeah, last few weeks we've been a bit hot and cold. We had some bad patches and then some really good patches, so it's hard to gauge where we are at. But yeah, it's finally starting to get my hands on the ball a little bit, and then I get injured, which is unlike me.
And the other thing, Jake, we just touched on, obviously last year, you know, a really good year for the football club, and you know the emotional up and down of grand final week for the club, obviously, but for you personally to miss that game. You know, has that driven you a lot this year to get back and get up? And, you know, from my point of view, certainly been playing the best A-grade football I think you've played. Has that driven you after missing that grand final last year?
Yeah, definitely. So that was obviously very disappointing to do my ankle in the prelim. And obviously it's been such a long time since we had any real success. And to make it to the grand final and miss it was obviously devastating. But in a way, coronavirus was a bit of a blessing in disguise because I could get my ankle fixed and I didn't miss any games. So, and now to get injured again, pretty disappointing. But yeah,
hopefully that's it now, mate. You can go into the boys can get through and we can get into a finals series, and you can play a big part in that. So, over to Dad now, to Andrew Adcock. So, Andrew, president of the footy club here, just give us an update on how things have been. Obviously really tough through this corona period and things like that, but how's the club handled that, and you know, how's that worked from your department?
Look, it's a challenging time, obviously. There's a lot of protocols that we need to take with the coronavirus and the regulations with the government, but I think as a club we've handled that pretty well, and it's changing all the time, but we're keeping up with that, and so far all is good.
And just from a financial point of view, not going into numbers, but from a club point of view, the rule come in that there was a 0 salary cap. Yep. You know, you only get, I think, 4 home games for the season. You know, how has that been for the club? Has it meant that you can get through this year, you know, on a successful or a break-even sort of template?
Yeah, I think it's been a blessing for all footy clubs. You know, if clubs had to pay players and have a reduced income, I think there'd be a lot of clubs going broke, and I think it's been good for everybody. So we can all survive and move into next year and beyond.
It's a good thing, I think, that the Country Footy League brought that in and survive. It means survival for a lot of clubs, doesn't it? So just on the Onka's Footy Club off-field, from your point of view, going forward, you know, how's everything breaching out? You guys looking at getting a finals game here at the club? Obviously, the COVID thing's a big part of the football finals here in the Hills Footy League. How's that looking, and what dialogue have you had from the HFL about how the final series might look?
Yeah, we've been talking with the HFL, with the other clubs as well, and I'm sure that you know, our ground will be selected for a final. Obviously, there's a few hoops we need to jump through, and the Hills Footy League need to jump through with COVID management plans. But I think that's all going well, and you know, off field, I think everything's tracking on pretty well at the moment.
And let's get into the Suns' playing ability. Addy, we remember you as the player, the big hangers, the inside duck feet, and all that sort of stuff, and the long goals. What's it like watching your lad pull on the same Guernsey number that you wore as a father here? And what's it like watching the boy and playing his A-grade career at Onkas?
Well, he gets injured about as much as me, so but I think he's probably a lot better player than what I was, but I think he's got a lot of potential and can be a lot better as well going forward.
How does he go with the feedback from Dad? Does he take it all in, or do you generally just leave it and let him do his own thing?
Well, we've got a couple of coaches in the house. We've got Mum and we've got Dad, and we have our say, let's put it that way.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk off-field, boys. You've obviously got a very, very successful business in the local area here, Andrew, with Adcock Real Estate. Jake's become your whole family's a very important part of that. So just give us a quick rundown on how that works and how long you've been in business sort of in this region.
I've been in business, started at Adelaide Hills Adcock Real Estate when I started when I was 22. So yeah, 30 odd years. And yeah, the business is travelling pretty well, and it's great to have Jake and Talisa in the business as well, and obviously my wife Jodie.
And how does that go at home around the kitchen table? You're still doing deals at night when the whole family's there, or do we generally walk in the door and shut the work off and we can get on with social life, if you like?
Oh, we're pretty lucky. We get on pretty well, and you know, we don't sort of cross any boundaries. Work's work and home's home, and that works pretty well.
And how's the boy going? Any written warnings or anything yet, or is he getting the numbers that you require?
So far, so good, but no, he's doing really well, and yeah, and Talisa is as well, so very proud.
Yeah, it's excellent. It's a great business, obviously, here for the local region. You've done a fantastic job and won some big awards in the last few years too, I have seen.
Yeah, we're lucky enough to win the best small agency in South Australia this year,
yep.
And also the best property management agency in South Australia as well, in the small category. So yeah, we're very honoured to win those awards.
So just from a football club point of view going forward, Coach Paul Tanner, obviously I think this is his third year in charge.
Yep.
You know, how's that looking off field? Is that are you already sitting around and talking about coaching for next year? And you know, what's the future direction for the club, you think, going forward?
Yeah, we've just started to look at next year. Obviously, you always got to plan ahead, so we're in those discussions at the moment around coaching for the following year. So that'll all progressing well.
All right, Jake, I might just go to you about the on-field stuff. Johnny Greenslade come to the club this year as another midfielder, you know, and Dan Scholes lifted up in the ruck and obviously meant that you can play a little bit forward. But what have been the other exciting things on-field from your point of view that you found within the group?
Yeah, so obviously Johnny is such a professional, much like Doc and Joff, Ben Jeffries. So on field and training, they're just so professional, switched on. They know how to get the best out of not only themselves but everyone else as well. But I think the thing that I've been most excited about, and obviously I'm not that old either, but like Zach Kuiper, Noah Bell, and even Tyson Pate playing today, they're 3 18-year-olds. And then you even look at Mitch Cocciolini, who's 19, Tom Mayo, 20, and they're all just so young and they've got so much good footy ahead. And yeah.
And off the field, good bunch of friends. You're all quite close. You know, can you see that group staying together for a long time here at the Onka Valley Footy Club?
Yeah, definitely. I think they're all good blokes, and we don't not enjoy anyone's company except maybe Vinesy, but he'll watch his back during the week, no doubt. But yeah, we all get along very well, and yeah, I think we'll stick around for a long time. Obviously, there's a few players. I think there's 5 or 6 of us playing at the moment. That played in the 2012 grand final, senior Colts with Dingo as coaching as well. So yeah. It's good that we're all kind of moved through the ranks and we're all playing together as well as the younger fellas.
Yeah, it's interesting you touch on that with Paul coaching at junior grade and now at A grade. You know, 3 years in the job, and obviously prior to that, Onkas weren't sort of playing finals and around the mark. What's he brought to the group, and you know, what have you noticed with his senior coaching that's really helped the club move forward?
Just I think a level of standards that we all have to abide by. Not only respect, but for the coaching and each other, but for the club, and everyone does their bit off the field as well as on the field, and creates that good culture where we all buy into it, and the results come on field after that.
Yeah, it's good to see, and a strong Onkas is good for the competition. I know the other week we said the same about the Lobethal Football Club. Yep. There's those clubs that it's important that they're going well, so it's good to see. Might just cross back to you, Addy. Thanks, Jake, and we wish you all the best for the rest of the year. So, Addy, 6 years as president of the Onka Valley Football Club. I got a little whisper early in the week that something might have been floated out. Can you give us an update on what you might have advised the club this week?
Yeah, well, I have advised I won't be going on next year. I think probably 6 years is enough, and it's probably time at the footy club that some new ideas and some fresh people get involved and take the club to the next level.
Yeah, well, that's obviously from being an Onka's boy. That's obviously sad and disappointing to hear.
Yeah.
You've led the club with a fantastic discipline and leadership, and really turned the club around and got it going in a great direction. So very sad to hear. And have you got anyone in and around that committee as yet that you think can move into that role, or are you looking out far and wide, or?
We're looking, that's for sure. Nobody at the moment, but we're trying to get the word out now, obviously, and moving forward, it's really important that we can continue to be a strong club and build on the last 10 years and just keep building.
And will you stay around and still be involved, or you'd like to have a complete break from it and become a spectator sitting in your car over here?
It's fair to say I'll still be around, but I'm not going to be continuing on the committee level. I think it's probably better that I give the next president some space, but I'm obviously going to be here every week and will always help out.
Yeah, well, sad to hear that, but fantastic what you've done here at the Onka Valley Footy Club. You should be very proud, and maybe the boy might jump into that spot one day soon. Who knows?
Win a flag first, I think.
Yeah, that would be good. So, all right, thanks very much, guys. Really appreciate your time. Good luck for the rest of the year off field, Addy.
Yep. Good
luck rest of the field on field, Jake. And we hope it all goes out where this is good.
I just have to give a shout out. I think Ed Smart's watching.
Oh.
So shout out to Smarty. Rumour has it he's in quarantine at the moment, so he's coming out to play maybe next week. The boys wanted me to float that, so Smarty, if you're listening, we'll see you soon.
Well, you'll only get 2 games in though. That's not going to work. So no, well, there you go. How you going, Ed? It's good to see. If you're tuning in. So thanks very much, boys. Good luck.
No worries.
Hopefully the Dogs get up in the second half for you, and we'll cross back to the boys in the Dreammaker.
Good on you, Shane, and thank you very much to Jake and also Andrew, and also I think all of us here on HFL Media would say thank you very much to Andrew. He's been always accessible Goldie as a club president, and of course has been on Hills Footy Unplugged a couple of times, and it's a changing of the guard, and well done to Shane Collins, as always bringing the big stories to the table. So
Blackwood back on the ground. Pistols just going through their warm-up here in the tennis court pocket area and just waiting for Onkers, who I dare say Dingo would have let them know in what's the word?
No uncertain
That's
style.
the
Is that
one.
what you're looking for?
Yep.
Yeah, let them
What's
know what's
required in the second half, because everything's to play for.
Well, only 16 points in it, and also as we quickly look at the premiership table here, Benny, Onkers wouldn't take too much of a big percentage. They've got the second best percentage at the moment, but I tell you what, the way that's going, it could end up very costly for them if they happen to lose the game, but lose it pretty badly. But as I said, 16-point mark. As the sun's gone behind a bit of a cloud here at the moment as well, so a little bit overcast at the moment, but no sign of rain, he bravely says.
No.
And as we said, we go around the grounds, we can just tell you at half-time.
See ya.
Harndorf 9-7, Nan Bremer 2 goal 3, and Shane Collins back. Well done, Shane. I was just, don't know if you could hear, but just said on behalf of everyone here at Hills Football Footy Media, thank you very much to Andrew. He's been such a great guy for us. He's always accessible, and of course been on Hills Footy Unplugged a bit, and etc.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a good point, just waving to past Onka's coach Steve Wallace.
I was going to say, just grab him up for a bit of a chat.
Today, so we might do a catch up. Might grab him at 3/4 time. We might do a quick chat.
Absolutely, yeah. I did notice him there before. Thought he'd be a good man to get on it. But it said, he's done a good job, Andrew. It's well, as you know, mate, trying to organise things and some bodies.
Absolutely. No, he's done an outstanding job, and I know many leaders of clubs do, and there's some amazing presidents and leaders of our footy clubs in the HFL at the moment. But Addy's last 6 years ago, it was only 4 years ago, this club was looking at relegation to Division 2. They had to scramble their B grade to get a couple of wins late in the year, and that was really the tipping point. And Addy's got involved, and we turned it around. And Paul Tanner, as the senior coach, has got the on-field stuff going, and that's been on the back of Andrew's fantastic leadership off the field.
And I think when you mentioned the famous number 16, of course, Grandad wearing it for the great Sturt in their great era as well.
We had a trial game started last year against Barossa Districts, and we borrowed Sturt's Guernseys, and Jake wore number 16 in the Sturt colours, so Grandad was quite happy with that.
Yeah, I could imagine. So, young Jake, a big striking guy, and hopefully he gets back on track. Meanwhile, we're back on track here. Started the second half. 16-point lead to Blackwood. Shell wins the opening ruck duel to term. Ball comes down. It looks like it's a Greenslade, who's tackled there and taken the ground, so the ball's still in the
Current
centre circle area.
temperature in Balhannah is 8.9.
8.9. Bit warmer than it was last week. Just keep an eye on that. Baldacera's kick is smothered. Ball back at ground level cricket pitch area, fed out here. Trying to move it forward was Anderson. He goes to ground. Just keep a Johnson, sorry. Just keep a eye on that temperature gauge, because I reckon if it gets below 5 degrees, we might be down a team member.
Yeah, Colin might just decide to leave. Meantime, kick inside 50 by Greenslade, and the Woods chop it out there in defence. James Hopton with the long sleeve pistols might be needed in the second half of that. Sun just slowly making its way there, down behind the tennis courts. Meantime, kicks it out towards the half-back flank. Lovely mark there.
McCormack.
McCormack.
Played well.
Son of a gun. Well, he looks like a gun himself. Gets onto that left boot, kicks it towards centre wing. Fanning, is it? Brings it to ground level. And in between both interchange benches, Dingo Tanner standing up, looking for something from the Dogs to start us in this second half, and he's got a free kick.
Well, Dave Richardson said young McCormack got a bit of talent after his old man. He certainly is right. It's our man Chipiana, close to the boundary line, actually runs along it. Then nurses it up the flank area. Over the top was Baldacera for the Woods. Ground level, looked like Webber was in there.
Just get involved. Also get involved on the Hills Football League Facebook page or hillsfooty.com, and Jamaican Joe is enjoying the work of our two stats men.
Absolutely. Indy, the 500 man, and Jordan Jaden Hill. And man, he might be Triple J.
Triple J, yep.
So, kick for the Dogs. Out there was Peter, got his hand to his chance for Pate, the youngster, got it out, taken by Hopton, got a handball back to Baldacera, clearing kick for the Pies.
Oh, take that if you will.
Standing his ground was young McCormack, who we spoke about just a minute ago, certainly showing plenty of courage there for the youngster. Nurses the ball into the centre, great pick up there by Spawn, and a firm bit of the ground. Handball's out in McCarthy. In the meantime, I think it was FAD, paid by the umpire, comes back into tuck. The Fryer nurses up the line towards Ace. Can he gather it? No.
Oh, he's chopped his head off.
Taken high there was Webber, who didn't like the attention there. Gets up behind Mike Tyson, swinging style, but down there is
reversed it.
McCready going down. So I don't think it's called by Shane Collins. Reversed the free kick as Jeffries comes over and has a bit of push and shove with Ace. Perhaps former club mates back in the day at Nord and juniors. In the meantime,
going on with it here.
McCready will have the free kick, and I tell you what, this could be very costly for the Dogs if McCready can convert this. Shane Collins, he's only kicked the 5 for the season, yet to get on the board.
Well, he's gone into the pocket there, and Catford's the target. The umpire's called a mark or a free kick.
Free kick, too high.
And it might be Aish, actually.
It is Aish, yes, the man at the moment.
Just lapping it up here.
Jeffries has gone down from McCready. Yeah, it's all happening
just
here.
Just a bit of a scrappy start here.
Yeah, really undisciplined by Onkas. I mean, Aish always looks for them. He's very, very smart. So well done to him. Played it smart, gets another shot on goal. He kicked one from here in the first quarter, so this is not beyond him.
So he's loading up for his third of the afternoon. It's called by Shane Collins too already.
Just testing out the breeze there with the grass.
Matthew Lloyd style. So no doubt he's be getting a bit of information from the Bulldog supporters in the crowd here.
Well, he's got them right there on the fence.
Just watch the kicker here, boys. If this is going through, it'll be a big dance. 50 metres.
Oh, 50-metre penalty.
Blackwood
supporters making a lot of noise there.
I tell you what, umpire Hall was right on there. And oh, God. Oh, Paul Tanner, you can see
reversal, a free kick, and now a 50. And Aish lets rip and kicks it into the nearby.
It's been in the beer garden at the Oakback pub, that one, Shane.
Yeah, it has. Might have hopefully fallen on my roof. I need a footy.
So, 2 minutes 28 gone after, well, an interesting little segment of play. Aish has kicked his third. And the 7th for Blackwood. They move on to 7-6, leading Onkas 4-2. Bearing in mind they led by 16 points. So, yeah.
Blood rule for Webber.
Umpire. And I'll tell you what, I was watching Paul Tanner then as he stood in the box up there. And not a very happy chappy, Shane. And I could understand why.
We got a comment here. Mike Oxlong, he said, no room for that. Onka's plain stupid.
Yep, very good comment, Mike.
Good on you, Mike. You certainly can size up. And, yeah, trust you're enjoying our coverage here on HFL Media worldwide. So,
everything to play for in the second half. Back in the middle.
the scoreboard.
The scoreboard, waiting for that to move, are we?
Yeah.
Is it 7-6? 4-2?
Colo, you better go and put 20-cent piece in the
there.
meter.
Back in the middle, Scholl wins it down to Greenslade. Looked like he threw that one, Warbert. Meantime, snaps it towards centre half for the Woods. Good work there by Sinnott. Kicks it out towards the half-forward line. Pake tried to pick it up nicely there. Just couldn't quite grab it on the second cherry, and it's held up. So right half-forward line for Onka's kicking towards the tennis court end in this final term. Third term, I should say. 4 minutes gone. Jan Warbert once again snaps it towards centre half forward. Anderson hit the deck. Jeffries wrapped up in a tackle there, and the ball is held up centre half forward for Blackwood. They've got on the board, all importantly, in this third term. 7-6 they lead. The scoreboard's changed now. Onka's 4-2. So 22 points the margin. We got third place versus fifth place. Onka's in third at the moment with 3 wins and a draw. Blackwood have had 2 wins and 3 losses after their loss last week against Nambour United. Keen to make amends. Carissa kicks it out towards the wing, and Chipiana takes the mark, Pistols.
Yeah, good work. No, Chipiana's had Hopton, James bearing down him. Stood his ground. The chip goes along towards the half-foot flank area. Baldassare in front of Peter. Peter got rid of him cleverly. Youngster Pake flicked the ball out there. Cochiglione.
What can he do?
What can he do to bring the house down? No. Through for a minor score, so... Just looking for a little spark here, the doggies. They move on to 4-3 to 7-6. 5 minutes gone, third term, called a while. So it'll be Matty Waldron to bring the ball out for the Blackwood Football Club. Nurses across to the pocket area, finds Jack Baldassare.
He's a good player.
Played his 50th senior game, I think, earlier in the year for the Blackwood Football Club.
Stand out in those orange boots.
Absolutely. They've got bookends. They've got Ace at the other end as well. Yep. As ball comes off the hands of Catford there. And out of the boundary. And also talking about injuries, haven't seen Dykesman back after that.
Yeah, after that play that set up the goal.
So both sides down. So George Dent and also Dykesman, both casualties so far in this game. So boundary throw in. Warbert brought the ball down, taken away by Webber. Little toe poke forward, cut off by Hopkins. His handball was smothered. Picked up there for the Dogs.
Cornish.
Flying shot at goal by Cornish, but marked there by Daniel Bennett in the last line of defence in the square. He quickly puts it out there towards the Dreammaker. Bouncy ball while Carissa goes to ground.
Nice pick-up, Johnson.
In the soft conditions, nurses it up to Benson. Benson's got support there from Hopton. If
Oh!
he got him, tries to run around
Fanning.
opponent there. Fanning gets the ball back into spawn. Oh, he's beset by Mayo. Was that too high?
That's
Goes
gone.
again. That could be holding the ball. I tell you, I'd like to
lucky.
see that one on What's Your Decision. Shane Collins.
Oh, well, you just get confused, don't you? You watched footy last night. That was holding the ball 10
yeah,
seconds ago.
it was either too high or...
Yeah, that's right. The rules change.
Anyway.
But anyway.
Ball up near the boundary line. So 7 minutes gone, third turn.
Too good.
Woods once again key the ball towards the half-forward lines, going out of bounds on the full. Has it found touch? Umpire says it's gone out of bounds on the full.
That was Dacos style, inside out along the wing as he put it out over the line. Big yarn.
Kuiper, I should say, kick in the middle of the ground, 2-on-1. Vines, if he wins this one, it opens it up. Blackwood hold it up though. Wrapped up in the tackle there.
Young McCormick again, I think, is it? Yes, it is.
McCormick, he's done well. 7 minutes gone. Blackwood 7-6, skipped out to a 21-point lead early in the third term. And Damien Green wraps up direct opponent there, and Matt Tuck. So near the cricket pitch area. Slightly favouring Blackwood's side. Jan Warbert slaps it over the back of his head. Chipiana tries to get out to a teammate there in Greenslade.
Just looking up the ground here, boys. I'm just not sure how Onkas think they're going to score. It's 3v6 in their forward 50. Everyone's getting too far up the ground.
We got James Hopton and also Dunn back here. Bennett's no opponents, Colo.
They're going to really struggle to score.
So it'll be 4 on the 2, 4 on the 3, say 5 on 3. Interesting.
Don't see any loose players behind the ball, so it seems like the crowded numbers for Onkas are around the footy at the stoppage.
So ball comes down, Cornish in there in the centre area. Also looks like Benson. Nil-all draws as the umpire. So right in the middle of the ground here at Balhannah. Sun's just behind the crowd for a little while. Ruck duel comes down here. Quick hands out there by Tuck. Bouncing ball. Can it be gathered? Picked up there by Benson. Oh, his thing tackled out the way. Burst his way through his Catford for a second look. Comes back here to Chipiana. He's been busy. Nurses a kick around the corner looking for a teammate in Carissa. And the Dogs get out of trouble on this occasion. Good work by Sammy Chipiana. So Carissa, he's been in this afternoon. Puts up the wing area. Cochiglioni's the target. He had 2 to beat. Ball comes to the ground. Goes back at that ground level. Cochiglioni holds the ball in. So 0-all draw. And once again the umpire will come in and recommence play. 8 minutes gone. Third term 4-3 Dogs. Woods 7-6.
Benson flicks it on out towards the boundary line. That's where it's gone. So it'll be a boundary throw in. 9 minutes gone. Woods, 21-point leaders. As I said, coming into the game with 2 wins. In 5th position. Lost last week against Nambour United. Onka Valley in 3rd. 3 wins and a draw. Comfortably over the top of Achunga last week. But the Woods, different opposition, that's for sure today. Right half forward line for Woods.
It's interesting how that happens, isn't it, Goldie? I mean, they've been disappointing for a few weeks, and you just turn up. And footy's such a game for above the shoulders, and they've just come with a really good attitude today, and they've been able to turn it on.
Half forward line. Go to Jaden and Indy shortly. Indy's got the binos really hard on the contest here. Phil Hopton flicked on McCready. Ball comes out eventually. Here's a chance for Carissa. He goes to Sinot. He'll switch it out towards the back pocket area near the faithful out there. Picket fence area. Ball's fumbling around. Dangerous position here for Blackwood if they can get onto it. Or they're happy to hold the ball inside 50 there. Pistols. And it's 10 minutes gone for 3rd term. Here from Balhannah Oval. And it's Blackwood 7-6. Onka's 4-3. Ball's inside tacky 50 for the Woods.
So this time they get into trouble. Looked like it was Jeffries nursing the ball out wide to the lead of Vines out near the coaching box. Ball goes to ground. In the meantime, the whistle has gone from umpire Hall. And looks like it'll be a free kick to Bennett. So I think it is Daniel Bennett's. So kicks the ball back. Pack sets us. Oh, big leap and big grab there. McCready. Fantastic. Just set himself. As we said, we're in the 47 this afternoon. Regularly 49, but to just set himself and wow, they'll be certainly on the Dartfish highlights package by
just having a look
Finn
at it
Rogers,
now.
I reckon.
Daniel Bennett's with the ball. Nice high ball inside 50. And that's a lovely meat and a sandwich short of job.
So McCready, can he finish it off? Will it clear the man on the line? No, he just got a fingernail to it. Was Fanning, so just forfeited the bid from McCready to kick a goal off that great mark. So 1 behind, added to Blackwood score. Ball back into play, taken here by Johnny Greenslade. So the past Sturt Premiership player.
How have you seen him today, Colo?
Yeah, he's had enough of the ball. He's done okay. And certainly, him and Webber, I think, have done a real good job to the midfield. They haven't had a lot of support, unfortunately.
So Jag Cornish, half-back flank area with the ball for the Dogs.
Just no one to kick to.
Not a lot on offer. Well called, Jay Collins. So just go bang up the line. Tall timber there, and Shell got his hands to. He's got support there from Jeffries. Hot potato to football there. Trying to thread his way was Bennett's dispossessed. Trying to thread his way through. Looks like it's green. Close to the boundary line.
Oh, Catford.
Yeah, just
Blackwood's defensive work's been outstanding today. They've done a really good job in closing Onkas down and not letting them run the ball back through the middle.
So Warbett Shell. Little draw comes down to that man Greenslade. Got it out to Vines. Goes backwards to go forward through a teammate.
Kuiper
gets it up towards that ball to
lovely
good spoil. Puts it down the throat of the youngster McCormack. He goes a little dinky kick up the line and finds
Johnson
across and running down.
Matt T, is it?
Matt T, yeah, for defence. So T nurses it further up the line to the lead. Two Onka Valley boys go against each other. Ball spills down. They feed the ball out here.
They're on.
Comes back through the centre here. The Dogs gets it across to
Here we go.
Cornish.
Lovely.
Got
it.
Run here by Mayo. We know he can do anything.
No.
Not on this occasion.
Lockie
yes,
Peter.
Yes, Lockie Peter. Good pass in the pocket.
Jeez, they had to work hard there.
They did. So, just ran from the scoreboard. Lockie Peter reads 4-3. Onka's Blackwood 7-7. So, certainly wanting a score here.
So, Lockie Peter near the scoreboard. Lit up. What's he going to do? He's going to go on the left. Oh, that's why. Brilliant snap from Lockie Peter, and can give the Dogs a bit of momentum as we head towards the 13-minute mark in the 3rd term. They go to 5-3 now. Blackwood 7-7, so they cut the margin to 16 points. Colo, 13 minutes gone.
Yeah, just high-intensity football for Onkas to try and get through those extra players in the back half. So they run from basically the back pocket right through to the 50-metre with handball. And then Tommy Mayo found Lockie Peter. Even though it was in an awkward position, Lockie was good enough to kick the goal there. But really good concentration by Black Fanning too on that goal line. If that goal went through, Blackwood's momentum changes, and McCready, wish he probably had that kick again and got it a little bit higher, because it was a really important shot on goal. So 2-goal turnaround in the Dogs' favour.
Good thing he didn't cut his fingernails this morning. Hello. So Shell gets a tap down centre square for the Dogs. Locked up umpire Lawless will come in and recommence play. So Peter with his second goal of the afternoon. Warbett, good tap down to Catford, gets a quick high kick away, bouncing ball. Oh, streaming out there. I think it was Tuck.
Yep.
Goes to ground under heavy body work. Actually tucks down here. He got collected pretty heavily there off the side of that contest by Synod, I think it was. So the umpire will come in and ball it up once again. So good game of footy here. Back to the half-time margin of 16 points. Trying to juggle it through was McCready. Ball spills out here. Finally comes to Teague, sorry. Sets sail for the Woods. But all at home is Onka's in the goal square as they bring the ball back out here and finds Webber in front of the members' pavilion.
Kuiper finds Webber, goes back to Kuiper. Basically last line of defence. Tries to get the handball over the top to Sinot. Oh, that could come up stuck. The Woods hold it inside 50 now. Right half forward line for Blackwood. 15 minutes gone, 7-7. The Woods, a goal apiece so far in this quarter. Onka's 5 goals, 3. So inside 50 for the Woods. They've led for the majority of the game since
43 seconds.
43 second goal, yeah. Basically, they've led. Here's a chance for them once again. Flying shot at goal on the left. Aish tries to snap it over his shoulder, then does it the other way, and he's missed that. Geez, that was quite clever though, Joel Aish.
Very mercurial, isn't he?
Bit of special work from Anderson too with the first attempt.
Aish tried to go over the top and then gone the second attempt, kicked the point. So slightly increases Blackwood's lead to 17 points. They go to 7-8-50. Onka's 5-3-33. Half forward line. Here's a chance for McCormick, is it? Ball's across the forward line. Onka's players holding the ball out towards Blackwood's interchange bench, and that's where it's gone. 16 minutes gone. So probably about 10 minutes left in this third term.
Now, tell you what, Shane, this is really a line in the sand moment here for Onka Valley's got. He's at 16 point halfway through the third term, bearing in mind they're going to take on the Might of Harndorf next week.
Yes.
And as far as the major rounds, this is a real defining moment. So, ball fed out here, Mayo got out there up the line, kick with Shell, bouncing ball, here's a chance. Clever work by Greenslade, gets it out wide. Oh, there's a good
got to finish. Got to.
Oh,
look at the closing.
Coscione to Bilby. Can he get it through? I tell you what, he has. Good work.
You called it, Pistols, the line in the sand moment. And Onkas need their best 10 minutes of footy here that they've had all year. They've got to stay in touch here going into the last quarter. I know Coach Paul Tanner's stressed all week how important today is getting the Bulldogs locked into the top 3. So. And it's also interesting for Blackwood. It's really important for them right now. So both these clubs right at the crossroads at the 16-minute mark of the third quarter on who can come out of this better.
So Lockie Peter back-to-back goals. He's third of the afternoon for the
Bilby,
Dogs.
I reckon you'll find.
Was it Bilby?
Bilby, yeah.
Bilby. Sorry, sorry, Lockie. Just take off you. So 1 goal there to Bilby.
Back in the middle, Scholl versus Jan Warbett in ruck. Jan Warbett flicks it over the top to McCarthy. It's chopped out there by Green, comes back to McCarthy, goes out to McCormick on that left boot, kick inside 50 for the Blackwood. Ball hits the deck. Jeffries is around the action. Here's a chance for the Woods. Oh, he's wrapped up the player for the Woods, and it's held up inside 50 for them. I think it might be Phil Hopton.
Phil Hopton, yep.
Liam McCarthy's been good today, boys. Done a real good job in the midfield.
So ball inside 50 here for the Woods. Can they answer? Sinot goes to Fanning, goes to Dean. He's set upon immediately. Interesting period in the match as we head towards the 18-minute mark in the third term. 11 points the margin now. So 1 more kick and it's under a goal here for the Dogs. Here's a chance for Bilby, last goal kicker. Check sides it out towards the wing area. Cut off there by James Hopton. Finds a teammate there in Evan Johnson. Kick inside 50, deep kick. Got some tall targets down there. McCready, good work by Sinot. Oh, no. Touched. Opportunist stuff.
As you called Shane Collins, he's certainly an excitement machine.
He's scary for the Yonkers backline when it gets in that deep.
Absolutely. But good work there by James Hopton. Trapped a difficult bouncing ball there. As we go down to Jaden J and Indy 500.
Cheers, Bizzles. Just a stat for you, boys. So Onka's best quarter this year is their third quarter with an average of 20. And they've already scored 2 goals. And the best quarter against Blackwood in the last 5 games has been their third quarter too. So it's really telling in this quarter. Indy, stats, mate?
Well, right now, Onkas are clearly maintaining that tackling pressure that they've had for the last couple of quarters. They've already got 21 tackles with quite a bit of minutes to be played still. But at the same time, I also think they've struggled to make those tackles land and stop the Woods dead in their tracks. So they haven't gotten a lot of free kicks from them. That's mostly because they've been applying them, if anything. So I just think that's a key area they could improve in. And of course, they are hitting targets a little more, but they still need to get that spread right and take some more risks down the middle.
Thanks, boys. Some pretty desperate football at the moment inside the forward 50 arc for the Woods as they press towards goals. Onka's equally desperate to try and hold them out. Ball comes off hands here. It's a chance for Benson. Tries to feed a handball out. Hopton knocks the ball on. Taken here
McCormick.
by McCormick. Son of a gun, I tell you what. Fantastic finish there. Opportunist finish. Found the ball, and the youngster certainly delivering well. Just a steadying goal there, Goldie.
Yep, round the grounds. Pistols, current matchups. Lobethal, 6 goals, 11, 47, leading Echunga, 5 goals, 4. Harndorf, 16 goals, 11, leading Nambour United, 2 goals, 3. Yeah, that brings you up to date on those ones, and I'll go to Div 2 shortly.
Thank you very much. Here on Call with the Wild, trust you're enjoying our coverage on hillsfooty.com. Good game of football here. Blackwood just stretching ahead a little further. It's an 18-point margin, 8-9 to 6-3, 19 and a half minutes gone. A very good finish.
Kersbrook, 10 goals, 8. Meadows, 4 goals, 7. And Ironbank, 9 goals, 5. Torrens Valley, 1 goal. There you go.
Oh, they've scored a goal this week, which is good for the Valley boys. Ball comes out here. Jeffries fed the ball out there, clearing kick. Out here, Cantor Baldessera, disciplined defence, fence the ball out wide. First to get to be the teammate Bennett. He's got support out there from Spawn. Nurses the ball, goes backwards to go forwards, and finds James Hopton in the distinctive long sleeves here this afternoon.
James Hopton. Oh, dangerous. Finds Baldessera. Composed. Finds a teammate out here. He does. Good mark there by Nathan Dunn, just near Lockie Peter. So Dunn, just near us.
Thought Flynn the cameraman was going to get a possession there, Goldie.
He's all over it, Flynn. 8 goals, 9. The Woods. Onka's 6 goals, 3. Centre wing. Gee, Dan Scholl, volleyball sort of spike there out towards the boundary line. So boundary throw in, centre wing, 21 minutes gone. 8 goals, 9. The Woods. Onka's 6 goals, 3. So 18 points the margin. It's got to within 11 points. But the Woods just seem to have that answer at the moment. They've led since the opening minute mark of the match. Andy Vine, sweeping handball out to the chip. It's a 2-on-1. McCready's in hot pursuit. Good work from the chip. Good work from McCready as well. And it's held up.
Good work there, McCready.
It was great work by him. It was terrible work by Onka because you clear it off. You're out the game there. You need to get the ball forward. Onka's got a small forward line and it needed to get a quick entry there.
Webber trying to burst through. He loses possession of the ball. Finally comes to Green. Shoots at a hand.
Here we go.
Out into Catfish. Finally gives to the Bilby man. Bilby over the top here to Mayo. Gives it back to Bilby. Tries to thread himself through. Going to get clear to have shot. Sells a bit of candy.
Blackwood's
wrapped up.
pressure.
Perhaps did a bit too much. Where it comes out into
Mayo,
Mayo.
watch
again.
out.
He's backed up, but he's brought the ground this
great
time.
tackle.
And holding the ball, but did well to get that far as he eluded the tacklers. So right in front of the scoreboard will be a free kick. I think it's Matt T. Goldie as the scoreboard behind him. 8-9 Blackwood. Onka Valley 6-3, 21, nearly 22 minutes gone.
So T kicks it out towards centre wing. Big pack. Green's the tackler, as he was at the opening of this second half. Holds the opponent up there. And that opponent looks like it's Respawn, who's kicked the goal in this match. So ball about 60 metres out from the Dogs' goal. Kicking towards the tennis court end in this third term. Webber's held up in the tackler. So goal kickers in this term. 2 goals apiece. Aish and McCormick for the Woods and Lockie Peter and Bilby for the Dogs. Here's a chance for Webber. Went one way, then the other. This is important. Sinot. One kick. Bang. There's a Baldessera's the meat in the sandwich here. He didn't go for that one. Off one step. Is that a goal by Bilby?
Oh,
You
well
betcha.
Leone.
Good shepherd by Cocciolone, and that's a goal for the Dogs, much needed. Good stuff by Bilby. His second for the term, Colo.
Yeah, it was really good. Lockie Peter, sensation. He had to beat 2 in the contest there. Although he didn't mark it, he brought it to the front, and as good crummers should in the forward line. The Easter Bunny was front and square and got a snap over the top. So much needed goal later here in the third quarter, and I feel like this last quarter is going to be game on, boys.
So back-to-back goals to Bilby. So the Dogs 7-3, 45. Blackwood 8-9, 57. So yeah, 2 straight kicks. The difference here in the shadows at three-quarter time.
it's a ring-a-ding.
So another one would make it a ring-a-ding-ding. So back in the centre, umpire Lawless. Over the top, Big Terry Sleep back on the ground. Got the ball down, but only as far as Blackwood playing. McCready was wrapped up by Webber, so the umpire...
9.3 degrees, 9.3 degrees here.
Feels like 0.
Oh, last week it was minus.
Well done, Blackwood bursting through as Benson. He's had a pretty influential game. Puts it up forward. Getting back, take a safe mark there was Sinot for the Dogs, cutting off this attack from the Woods.
Oh.
Tries to nurse one up the line, intercepted here by Anderson. The coach, a chance to put his side further ahead as he curled it back. Getting back on the goal line there was ring-a-ding-ding bell, Noah Bell, and was a let-off goal because that would have been icing on the cake by the coach. But anyway, 13-point margin, 8-10 plays, 7-3, 24 minutes ticked over. Looks like Jeffrey's running the ball out, goes by hand.
Oh, Sinot.
And Sinot now goes long with the boot out towards the Blackwood coaching box area. Ball kept the ground level.
Good tackle.
Good tackle.
Oh, he's dropped it.
Shrugging through was Benson. Good strong work there. Fed the ball out there, right in the barbecue shed. There's the chip. Feeds one out. Good work there by Anderson again. Puts it to the top of the goal square.
Oh! Third time lucky by Aish.
That man Aish.
Oh, golly. Oh, golly.
It might have been McCready. Sorry,
well
once
done
again,
by
busting
Blackwood to create that. If you look at the Onka's coach's box, you can't see Paul Tanner. He's just fallen over on the ground. I think that was poor work in the back half. But
McCready
well done.
with the centering kick.
Yeah, well done by McCready. He's been really influential this quarter, hasn't he? And Blackwood have just been, they just keep holding this lead, and they've done a really good job with their pressure today.
And the initial forward movement came from some pretty strong work by Benson. Go down to Jaden Jay.
Just on McCready, he's had 3 kicks, 2 handballs, and 1 mark in this quarter, and 6 tackles. His tackle pressure, just the 1%ers, the taps, just getting the ball forward. He's been instrumental in this quarter.
Back in the middle. Can the Woods go forward again? McCready got the handball out towards Spawn. Here's a chance for Johnson. Kick inside 50, finds Aish. Silver service, champagne footy from the Woods, and Tucks there giving an applause to Aish for the mark.
Said this 10 minutes was going to be very important to both clubs, and well done to Blackwood. Their midfield pressure and midfield work today has been outstanding.
Line in the sand stuff, Shane. Maybe Blackwood are kicking sand in the face of the Dogs at the moment.
They are.
In this last 10 minutes. So Ace already kicked 4 this afternoon. And
how many has he kicked for the year?
That's given him 22 at the
22
moment.
For
and
the year.
As I said, Nan Brimmer all sorts of trouble, so he may well be the leading goal kicker at the moment. The last score there was 16-11 to 2-3.
Oh, he loves it. He loves it very much.
Goal umpire does too. There he goes.
So Joel Aish continues on his goal-kicking exploits here in this one, and the Woods kick away. They go to 10-10, 70. Onka Valley 7 goals, 3-45, so a lead of 25 points as we head towards three-quarter time. Can't be much time left.
Back-to-back goals for Ace boys in this quarter, and he's actually kicked 3 for the term, 3 out of the 4. So
made the most of some really good opportunities today.
Dogs entered the match with 3 wins on the trot. Warbert, McCready,
been very good
built
this
up the
afternoon.
tackle by Greenslade. There we go, on the cusp of three-quarter time, a goal to the Woods has extended their lead. And Pistols and team, I'm heading off. I've got prior commitments. It's been great to be here. All the best for the final
Heading down
term.
to the spiritual conference.
Yeah. Just bring you some more wisdom on
Wednesday. Looking forward to it on Hills Footy Up.
So looking forward to watching this though on the not on the ride. I'll listen to it on the ride home. So,
good on you, Benny. Thanks for your input this afternoon, as usual. Benny Goldfinch. As Shane Collins has departed, heading out to the huddle, and no doubt, Paul Tanner just going through with his advisory staff on the balcony there of the coaching box, just to decide what's going to happen. So Robbie Shield will be joining me shortly, as we'll go down to the boys. Opportunity to go down to boundary side to Jaden Hill and Indy Rogers with the stats that matter. Down to you, boys.
Cheers, thanks, Pistols. So yeah, just looking at the stats in comparison, they are pretty even with the kicks, 34 to 32. Blackwood were just really clean in that quarter as well. There was a patch where Onkas was sort of doing what Blackwood did in the first quarter, but Onkas couldn't hit the scoreboard, and Blackwood get those 2 late goals in the last quarter to really get a good three-quarter time lead. 17 inside 50s in that quarter. That's the highest amount of inside 50s that they've had in a quarter for the game. So just really good there by Blackwood. 16 marks, 4 inside 50 marks, 29 tackles. Their tackle pressure was really good. Now I'll get Indy to touch on Onkas.
I thought Onkas were pretty even in the matchup for most of that quarter, but it was the last couple of goals they conceded that really blew it out. Only 7 inside 50s to 17 is disgraceful for a team that's already been struggling to convert forward. So if you're not creating those opportunities to begin with, then you're not really giving yourself any chance to get back into the game. Their centre clearance work was also quite poor in that quarter. 4 centre clearances to 2 in Blackwood's favour, of course. And I just feel like, you know, their natural kicking and handballing play, it's working well, but it's not converting up forward to equate to anything at the moment. Their tackling pressure as well, I think, a massive problem right now. They've got 26 tackles, not too bad compared to Blackwood's 29, but also I feel like a lot of their tackles don't stick. They don't get free kicks from those tackles because they don't apply them properly to catch their men holding the ball. And while they have a lot of pressure, a lot of it doesn't seem to equate to very much at the moment. So I think in this quarter, it really is about sticking those tackles, but also taking the game on quickly because they don't have much time to waste at the moment.
And also, third quarters for Onkas haven't been too great in the last few weeks. So last week they only got 1 point scored against them in the second half. That was against the Chunga, right? But the weeks before that, so round 5 they played Nan. There was 4 goals were scored against them, and the week before was 29, and round 1 was 18. So look, their premiership quarters, they call it, the third quarter, hasn't been too great in comparison, even though they have been scoring in the third quarters as well. But just Blackwood were just scored more goals and were just too good in that third quarter, like I touched on before. Back to you, Pistols. Looking forward to this last quarter.
We certainly are. And certainly we're looking forward to this. As Shane Collins reports back from the three-quarter time huddles.
Thanks, Pistols. Paul Tanner will sleep well tonight. He's exerted a lot of energy up there and looked very, very unhappy with his playing group. Questioned their ability and how much they actually want it today. Season on the line. Could lock away what would potentially be a top 3 spot. Very, very disappointed with his players and let them know it. Over to the Blackwood huddle, quite interesting. Once again, it was quite calm, as expected. They're doing okay today. Gee, it's a different Blackwood that we seen 4 weeks ago at Lobethal. I can certainly say that. And full credit to their coaching staff, the way they've turned that around. But they just spoke a little bit more about their defensive work and being able to get the ball from their back half. You know, they talked a lot about making sure that they were strong in the air in the back half because Onkas had no height, and that making sure that when they hit the ground, they ran in numbers and really brought the ball out with some poise. So, yeah, quite positive at Blackwood, but quite negative at Onkas, and expect a lift here. So it's happened before, mate. Onkas kicking towards the club room's end, and you never know. A couple of goals here and it could be game on.
Good on you, Shane. Thank you very much. So start last quarter, 25-point margin front of the favour of the Woods. Ball comes out here. Oh, good attack on the ball by Spawn. Equally good attack there for by Matty Dean for the Dogs. He wins a free kick. Umpire pays it to advantage. Ball shot out here towards Webber. Nurses up the line. Oh, good spoil there by Baldacera. Ball goes to ground there. So big sleep starting on the ground. Looks like it for this final term. It's Robbie Sherwood back on ball. Was Robbie and got to be impressed with Blackwood's performance today.
It's been really good at top class, so they've come to play, which is great to see.
So ball across here, taken by Evan Johnson, the former Gippsland boy. Nurses the ball out wide. Oh, good intercept there for Onkas. By Coccioloni. He's had his moments here this afternoon. Helped set up that running goal by Bilby in the third term. So Mitch Coccioloni.
Yeah, he worked today. He started at half-back, but the rebalance of losing Jordan meant Sinnott had to go back, and they've pushed Coccioloni forward, and he's created some opportunities, but this will be a much-needed goal for the Doggies.
So he's got a pretty good run-up. He's got the
Where is he?
He's got the Dennis Lilly run-up here. He's running in from the tennis courts. So strikes the ball now. Looks pretty good off the boot. Unfortunately, the accuracy is lacking, something that the Dogs would have wanted. So first score of the final term is to the Dogs, a minor 1, 7-4, plays 10-10 here on the Cord Wild Hills Footy Media Trust. You enjoying our coverage. So Waldron brings the ball out. So it was Bennett, goes out wide looking for Dunn. Got his hands to the ball. Ball comes down there. The Dogs send it back in. Out in the lead is Peter, got his hands to it, just couldn't complete the specky, so ball locked in front of the members' pavilion. And the umpire will come and ball up. So opportunity for the Dogs, attacking here in the first opening couple of minutes of this final turn. They need to get a couple of goals on the board as they trail by 25 points. They've reduced it back to 24 now. So ball up, ball comes down. Oh, stolen nicely there by Tuck. Got the ball out to a teammate. And Johnson in the meantime, the umpire has ruled illegal disposal. So once again a chance for Onkas to bridge it back. It'll be through Johnny Greenslade. Kick 6 for the season, Robbie.
Yep. So on a tight ankle.
Because we had him on.
This might just get the crowd going under the club there, all sitting down beautifully, having their nice wine.
Might be coffee and cake out
might
here,
be what's needed.
Balhannah. So Greenslade
missed it.
He's missed that one. So unfortunately, Onkas. 2 early chances and both sprayed them. So
just got to get that memo out about number 7 for Onkas in the A grade kicking goals from that angle, Jeffrey.
Kicked the point in the first.
I tell you what, get him round your house and just show him some of those VHS footage.
Oh, they were on beta back in my day.
So Blackwood, Balhannah brings it out wide. Big leap there by Shell. What a great pair of hands he has. And the fine young ruckman takes another good mark. So sends it back in once it came. They need a leaper here. Well, pushed out with Sleep. He made umpire signalled a push out in favour of Blackwood. Goes to Balhannah.
Mayo may have pushed Balhannah coming into the contest.
Yep, so Balhannah once again declare in those distinctive orange boots. Still the sun shining brightly out here at Blackwood. Puts it out in front of the
Blackwood
old scoreboard.
Come on, Pistols. You're at Balhannah, mate.
Sorry. Well, ball comes out wide here. It's Blackwood-like out here.
It's on Mayo again. He has to kick this. Onkas need momentum early this quarter. This is a really important kick.
Kicked the goal in the second term, boys. As we've seen him kick some very good goals over the time and quarter while. But
we've gone 3 minutes 40 into the quarter. The ball has not been out sort of past the middle yet. So Onkas have dominated early. They need a reward for it. Yeah, Jaden?
Scored a 36 and scored a 33 in the last 2 weeks in the fourth quarter. So this could be a telling kick here.
So the crowd will tell the story. And as Robbie Sherwood would say,
shocker. Collar.
So
you're at training on Thursday night.
Nothing to do with me, mate.
Even I could have kicked that.
So 3 straight behind to the Dogs. 3 goals would have been quite different. Wrapped up there. Good, strong tackle applied there by Jeffries.
Yeah, great tackle.
Bit of push and shove. That's was on young McCormack. Down a bit of attention there.
Getting a bit feisty, boys.
Well, so they should have all on the line here, as we called before. So ruck duel, Sleep leaning on Warbett, got the tap down. Oh, threading his way was McCormack, got the handball towards McCready, coughed it up. Good strong work in there as usual by Benson. Ball's held to him, so once again umpire Hall coming and ball up. So just under 5 minutes expired here. 3 straight behinds are the only score for this quarter. Unfortunately, as I said, all minor scores for Onkas as they search for goals.
They need that goal though.
You just feel forget it because we give them that little bit of an edge, a little bit of a catalyst. So boundary umpire James O'Leary, I think, did his collar. He's done about
nice
300 games on running the boundary here. Ball comes down there, good hands by T, gets it out the back to James Hopton, in turn goes to young McCormack, screws it up high. In the box seat is Shell, as Hopton comes in and Shell completes the mark. Wastes no time, gets on the boot, going further forward, but put it straight down the throat again of James Hopton. So waste opportunity there. Hopton goes across the other side of the ground, out wide here to a teammate in Dunn, in front of the members' pavilion.
Here's a local lad too.
So long ball. Setting himself behind his Sinot, brought the ball to ground. Over by the boundary line. Good work by the Woods finally through Spawn. They move it along, but Spawn's kick is over the boundary line on the full by the looks of it. So it looks like it'll be Zach Kuiper to take the resulting free kick.
Full credit to early in this quarter to Blackwood's back line here. They've done a really good job. They've kept their structure really well, held up the strong attacking positions that Onkas want to go through, and they've brought the ball back out every time.
So Onka's searching for the first win on their home turf over Blackwood since 2013. Can they do it either? Good work by the Bilby, good sweeping handball out here. Here's a chance. Leone gets onto the Bilby, who backed up. He knows how to kick goals. Yes, indeedy. And he puts on his third for the afternoon and just brings it that little bit closer, Robbie Sherwood.
Yeah, back to, what are we, 16 points, 54 to 8, 6, 54 to 10, 10, 7 in 6.5 minutes gone. But yeah, good running goal there.
I'll actually recap here, Rob, now you're on air. I said to you 3 weeks ago that Onkas were only chugging along, and you laughed at me and said that that I wasn't telling the truth. But you can see by today's game, they're just not at the top of their game.
Yeah,
they've been like this all year, and they've just been doing enough to win. But you know, as you can see today, they're just off their best.
Yeah, they did it against Nam. And, yeah, you're right.
About 7 tenths. Not 10 tenths.
7 tenths.
7 tenths, I'd reckon. Foot half on the throttle. As we go, Shill, ruck down. Taken by Webber. He's been good this afternoon. Geez, he set up his teammate there, which I think was Green, was it? Green Slade, yeah, a big tackle. So, ball up again. Warbett palms it down. Here's McCready trying to burst his way through. This is Green with delaying a big tackle.
Green have had a good contest all day today, haven't they?
Absolutely.
McCready's probably got the win there at the moment, but still 20 minutes to go in the game. I'm sure Green will want to get back on top.
So Hall pitches it up. Warbett wins it down this time. McCormack going through. In the meantime, the whistle is gone. Is it a holding free kick? Yes, it is. Goes to Benson. Wastes no time. Daniel Benson drives the Woods forward. Bouncing ball. Hopton tried to get it out to McCarthy. McCarthy puts the ball on the ground. Then feeds it out into McCormack. Oh, brushes off cleverly. Uses the vision out into the voice of Spawn. Well played, young man. Spawn just inside the 50-metre arc. Little wobble kick, but effective.
Jim McCormack's been impressive. Very good, very controlled, very balanced, and looks a quality young player.
So Evan Johnson, the boy from North Gippsland, Sale City competition last year, played in a couple of premierships over there for, as I said, Sale City. So the chance here to kick his first of the afternoon, boys, and it'll be an important goal here, just to stem a little bit of a fight from the Dogs. Sets it up. His teammates get around him, they like it, he likes it. And so that could just make it a little bit more difficult here, boys, for the Onka Valley Football Club. Blackwood move on to 11-10, leading Onka Valley 8-6 down to Jayden.
Cheers, Pistols. So that was Blackwood's first inside 50, and that's one goal. How many inside 50s for Onkas in this quarter, Indy?
They got 5 inside 50s in the early segments of this quarter.
How many scoring shots?
Well, we've seen the 3 behinds and the 1 goal so far. So
Blackwood being a lot more efficient in this quarter in inside 50, and more stats, Indy?
Yeah, well, we really got to touch on Dan Scholl, who's actually been bullied for a good portion of this game, but he's taken 4 marks in this quarter alone, and it's been really important to help them take some contested play marks from the back. So that has given them a couple repeat opportunities, but you see there when Blackwood got that free kick, they just set up so quickly, and Onka were left speechless.
Both of you, Pistols.
So Onkas pushing forward, seeking to counter that last goal. Comes down to Tucky, set upon big, strong tackle there. Applied. Looked like it was Noah Bell, I think. Gollo?
Nah, wouldn't.
Oh, hang on, Sleep. Sorry, 37, not 31.
Big test.
Yeah, bit of a difference in size. You're quite correct there. So over the top, comes down here, treading their way through. Green State involved. Also the Bilby. Ball comes to ground. Is that holding the ball?
Tommy Mayo.
Yes, so Tommy Mayo hasn't got on the board again. Once.
See if this set shot's a little better than his last one.
Yeah, absolutely. So Mayo, chance just to counter that last goal through Johnson. 8-6 plays 11-10. 10 minutes just ticked over here on the call of the wild, coming in from Balhannah Oval. I must say the sun has gone behind the cloud here, Robbie. Getting a little bit chilly.
Yeah, a little bit chilly. So
It's a little bit cold out here, boys. Nearly ready for me to knock
Colo
off.
will be calling.
You're soft.
Colo will be calling
It's hit my alarm meter, which means I've got to knock off.
Colo will be calling for the dressing gown soon. So Mayo, give the Dogs a chance. He's pulled this one across too. So 1 goal, 4 boys. Not the return. He made that 5 goals. Shane, and they're looking right in this.
Yeah, just ruining these chances here at the moment. So
no breeze at all, Colo?
No, there was a slight breeze to Onka's end, but nothing really in it.
So the kick out. Looks like a bit of holding on. The whistle is gone. Looks like it's going to the big man in Shell.
He's dominated the score,
So
hasn't
Dan Shell sends the ball back from whence it came. Good length kick. Oh, big leap there by Peter, I think it was. Could he control as it came to ground? No.
Yeah, he just had a couple of those chances this quarter. He hasn't quite plucked one yet, so...
certainly is an excitement shed. Of course, reigning Div 2 Country Division medal winner. There's a chance for Mayo, cut off by the Woods. Handball out here to Topton. Will it sit for him? Runs into a bit of trouble close to boundary line. Didn't really make an extreme effort to get rid of that one, Shane, but the ball finally ends up over the boundary line. So Onka's crowd under the veranda, the pavilion there, certainly will be whirring their side on. 8-7 plays at 11-10, 11 and a half minutes gone. So still time for the Dogs, but they need to get a hurry on, that's for sure. Bouncing ball. Oh, well done by Big Sleep. Got down to ground level.
He likes
And I
that,
tell you
Mayo.
what, that's better. Tommy Mayo misses the set shots and
7-point play, maybe.
wonderful thing like that he does. So Tommy Mayo grabbing one back here.
Yeah, look, the Bulldogs have dominated this quarter. They just, as you said in the call, Jeffrey, they just haven't put the score on the board. And if they keep this momentum up, Blackwood will need to be careful. I think Blackwood need to get a couple more midfield exits and get some forward entries and try and slow the game down and lock it in their forward half. And they can sneak another goal, that'll be important to them. But yeah, it's getting back into game on situation. 15 points the difference, 12 minutes into the last quarter.
So Blackwood 21-point leaders at quarter time, 16 at half time, and 25 points as we turn to home. So Shane Collins have got it back to 15 points. They'd certainly want another one now. Up they go, Shell up high. Ball comes down, this chance for Carissa. In the meantime, umpire Hall was signalled that the big man Shell was, Webber was in French, so the former Nord boy with the free kick. Nurses up the line. Oh, Coccione got it. I thought he'd missed the target, but Coccione with the mark as they move towards centre half forward. He'll go out wide towards the pocket. He's got a lead out here. Oh, good grab. Lockie Peter. And he's certainly starting to have influence on this game. Lockie Peter, we all know he's a proven ability. As I said, reigning male medalist. I was already kicked 2 this afternoon, so this would probably be his most important shot, I'd suggest. Shane, he nails this. We're back to under 10 points.
A really important shot on goal here for Lockie. And
which will be the closest the Dogs have been all afternoon.
Yeah, it will be too. And once again, they haven't really played that well today, but they're in this game. He likes it.
Cheer that. There's a beautiful kick, Robbie Sherwood.
Never looked like this end, and he liked it. As soon as he kicked it, he started celebrating. So, yeah, interesting game now.
The kennel's up and about under the pergola over there, so it's
10, 7,
game
6.
in the balance
I'll
now.
tell you what, Coach Tanner would be pretty happy with the resilience of his team. They've, as you said, only playing at 3/4 throttle, and they've certainly...
I wouldn't mind $1 on it. He's not that happy at the moment.
No, but I'm saying just the way they're fighting out the game.
Yeah.
They've given themselves a chance now.
Yeah, no, they have. They've played, you know, they've really haven't fired a shot today. They've played a few good minutes here. Dan Scholes certainly lifted in this last quarter. Tim Webber's got his hands on the footy and creating opportunities for Onkas.
So the first time since the opening goal of the game, it's in single digits, 9-point margin, 76 plays 67 here, 14 minutes ticked over.
I think what's been an important thing today too is Onkas have had a second and a third ruckman to have a go at war, but he's rucked all day, so he might run out of petrol tickets late in the game.
Because they've got Atkinson as the other option, big man, but anyway, the ball comes out here, Green, cricket pitch area. Stacks on the bill, and meanwhile there's been a free kick picked out. Catford has got a free kick as Green a bit slow to pick himself up in the centre of the ground. Catford with the ball. The old don't rub them, just count them. So Catford, Jimmy Catford goes out wide towards the lead of Hopgood. Good strong mark and opposition there to Noah Bell, I think it was.
This will only be their second inside 50, boys, I reckon.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, correct, yep.
It was Fanning. Here's up the line. And Jeffries, the experienced Jeffries. Good to see him out of isolation, Shane.
Yeah.
So he sends the ball back up for whence it came. Big yarn at the back of the pack. Didn't reach him. Hopton. That's a good
Scholl
mark.
again.
Came by Scholl. Once I said, what a fine athlete and footballer he is. So Daniel Scholl. Oh, didn't do his kicking skills. Very good assistance there. The ball's coughed up, but in the meantime, Fanning will get the benefit of a free kick here. So half-back flank area for the Dogs. High kick. Half-forward flank area. Defensive ball by Baldacera. Ball comes down there. Good work by Anderson, the coach for Blackwood. Heavy going there. McCready at the bottom of the pack, as you would have found all afternoon. And there'll be a ball up.
Blackwood player down behind play. Looks like he's going to the bench.
Yeah, it's Daniel Bennett's just hobbling off in the assistance with the trainer.
He's had a good game today too.
Hopefully he's all right. So a bit of a hole in the defence at the moment for Blackwood, one of the key men off. In the meantime, the ball with umpire Hall. 15 and a half minutes gone, come out to 16. Over the top, Shell wins the ball out. First to get to be Matty Dean. Applies a bit of pressure to a Blackwood opponent. So out over the boundary line, our man Richo standing there, calls himself the runner. I haven't seen him move too much today, Shane Collins.
Not doing a lot of running there at the moment anyway. But,
Yeah, he's tied himself up pre-match, Dave Richardson. Great to have his thoughts pre-match. It's a great Blackwood 250 game champion. So, ball and pitch. Over the top with Shell. Ball comes down. Jan Warbert, the big man, got a kick away. Up towards Hopton. He got his hands to a good spoil by Fanning. Great followed up there by Blackwood. Got out here to Anderson. He chips the ball out here to young T. And the youngster used his body well there. Young Matty T. First full season of senior football, just on the edge of the 50-metre arc. Puts towards the top of the square. I tell you what, well shepherded by Ace. Ace shepherded allowed... I think that's Johnson again, the boy in the orange boots, had that shot in front of us. Kicked the goal earlier in the quarter, number 8, I think. Yeah, good work by Ace.
A little bit of shepherding out there, but
yeah, by Ace, but indeed, it is indeed Evan Johnson for consecutive goals for him. And Blackwood just stemmed the tide again as they put it back to, 15-point margin, boys.
12-10-82 to 10-7-67, 16 and a half.
But big clearance there from Jan Warbert.
Yeah, it was. It was great. I missed who crumbed that ball at full tilt there through the middle of the ground. That was a fantastic piece of work. And, really clean disposal.
Might have been Matty Tuck, actually.
Was it? Was it Tuck? He's played well today as well. His speed and his cleanness around the stoppage has been outstanding. So, yeah, really good work there from Blackwood. Onkas were coming, and they were coming with a rush, so a really good result there for the Woods. The boys said before about their efficiency going into their forward 50. I think they've only had 3 entries, 4 entries for a couple of goals, so well done to them.
So waiting for the ball
to be... might be in the netball courts, I reckon.
The ball will be retrieved here.
Oh, here it comes.
And the scoreboard attendants going to get it? No? Haven't changed the score yet?
No. Quick, get that 20-set piece out, Jane.
The kid on the bike's not pedalling hard enough.
So 12-10, that'd be 82 to 10-7-67. So 15-point margin, 16.5 minutes gone. Still time for the Dogs, but as I said, they'll have to get a hurry on, wag the tail here to perhaps make their push towards a double chance a lot better. Tuck once again at ground level, fighting like a little terrier. Speaking of Dogs, ball's held in there. Once again, the umpire will come and ball it up. So, Warbert. Shell gets it down. Bouncing boy there, taken by the chip. Here's Shell, he does everything. This guy, Rux, Roves, keeping the ball in front of him. Finally overruns it. And ball locked in there. Cochiglione with the ball. So umpire Hall, ball it up. Shadow's starting to, and a bit of chill in the air here. Flicked over the back there. Taken there by Catford. He's set upon by a couple of Dogs. Goes to ground level. He's going nowhere. So once again, umpire Hall in the action. 16.5 minutes gone. Dogs. I think time might be the biggest enemy now, Shane.
Yeah, it's playing into the hands here of the Woods there. Did a really good job to bottle it up.
Yep, comes out the Shell. Feeds the handball out to Clarissa. Quick kick on the left towards the forward lines. In front there was Big Sleep. Dunn. Followed up there well by Webber. As he's
back.
Yeah, well shadowed there by Spawn for Blackwood and nurses him over the boundary line. So Ruck throw in boundary contest. So 16. So the time clock has stopped also, boys. So that's a bit of a problem.
16,
maybe power lockout here, Colo at Balhannah. So
who's got it, Lockie Peter?
So throw in Sleep, clearing kick for Blackwood. Hopton lumbers out, but once again a really good mark.
He's dominated
by Shell. Hopton seemed like he's in the box seat, but Shell just strong in the air. Sends it back in. We need a strong grab here. Peter lines up, gets a leap. Oh, you beauty, Lockie Peter. Fantastic leap and grab there.
We'll find the highlights reel. That one, that we just said a minute ago, he flew for a few today and hasn't quite taken the pill, but that was a cracking
It's almost followed the script as calling
exactly.
it. But, so Lockie Peter
he's just got to finish it off.
Has kicked 3 this afternoon. So this may well be his most important kick of the day. He's had a couple. He's pulled the Dogs back into contention, so he certainly needs to nail this one.
Yep.
I tell you what, he finishes, comes to the occasion. Big mark, big kick, big goal for the Dogs. Keeps their hopes alive here, Shane.
Yeah, and just remember the scoreboard's not correct. So, what do you got there, Pistols? What is the actual?
Back to 15, back to 9 points.
73 to 82.
That's their 4th goal.
11 points.
So that'd be 11, yep.
Also, just got to fit in a quick stat, boys. So, Onkas have taken 10 marks in this quarter. 9 of them have been contested. 3 of those inside 50. So that's where they're starting to get a little bit more dominance, taking those big pack marks and those contested contests.
And they've also gone over their average of their fourth quarter score of 22. So
12-10 plays 11-7 here, guys. Dying moments of the game. Socket forward here. Here's its foot race on. First get to be Catford. Will it sit for him? He gathers. He's under pressure from Sinot. Goes to ground. Play on, says the umpire. It's good to see him let it flow. Close to the boundary line.
It would have to be 20 minutes, would we?
Yeah, I reckon we've played 5 minutes since the clock stopped. Just adding to the climax here at Balhannah. Comes out. Oh, Greenslade's kick was smothered. Oh, another good smother there. Plenty of desperation here in the dying moments of this game, sensing the importance of the occasion.
No,
holding the pill.
No, ball up.
Ball up. So, ball up. Here we go. Warbett palms it down towards McCready. Struggles to get clear for clearing possession, but held in there. So once again, the umpire will come in, ball up. So 11-7 plays 12-10. So 9-point margin here. Bouncing ball taken by Baldacera. Gets on his boot. Up the line. Mark Pay. Quick kick forward by Blackwood. Hopped and sport well by Fanning. Bouncing ball. Sinot seeing come also is Johnson, who's been a live wire in the last quarter as far as goals. Kicked 2 important goals for the Woods. Boundary line looms and wins the race. So once again, we'll have a boundary contest. Just enjoying our coverage here. Call the Wild. Each week bring you the best of Hills Division 1 football. Throw in. Hopton doing the ruckwork and gives the ball. Handballs away, looking for support. Locked up in there, and as Shane Collins called up, just be happy here, the Blackwood Football Club, just to hold it in here. Stoppage after stoppage as they cling to this 9-point margin. Hopton in there again, goes to ground level. Once again, a rolling rugby scrum. And
good call, Pistols. We're 23.5 minutes into the quarter here, so they want to just suck another 60 to 90 seconds out of this and try and hold Onka's any momentum up.
So Fanning got the tap down against Hopton, bouncy ball there to Johnson, high kick. Oh, that's a good defensive mark taken there.
With the play on down the middle, you would think.
I think not much time. Allowing be looking for some space out there. So Sinot goes down the line. Lumbering it is Baldacera in opposition to Cochiglione. Well done by Wall, but the big man at ground level ends up with Baldacera. Oh, good smother there. Here's a turnover. Mayo shoots a handball out. Big sleep on hands and knees. Got it up here. Here's a chance for Blackwood taken by the Catfish. Can he get his kick? No, great tackle by Benson. And the ball come back to him in clear. Well played, Daniel Benson. Fanning at the back, got his hand, so puts it down to Hopton. Hopton shoots it over here. Can Blackwood control through McCarthy? Gets it out here to the young fella. Gets a shot. It's Troy Hocking. Top of the square, but the defensive mark taken there by Zach Kuiper. So Kuiper nurses it back out of defence over the head of Fanning. He's in opposition to Catford. Finally grabbed there by Shell. Shoots a handball out here to the chip. Chippiana, shows a bit of toe even in the last quarter. Gets the ball towards the half-forward flank area, looking for Webber, I think it is. Comes off hand, 1 grab, 2 grab, yes, paid by the umpire. So Webber wastes no time, puts it to the top of the square. Where's Peter? It's short for him, but come to Cochiglione. So Mitch Cochiglione, I think we talked about his goal-kicking ability a little bit early when he had a shot shown, so he definitely needs to nail this one.
We're 25 minutes in, so can't be long left.
Cochiglione, not a multiple goal kicker this season. So Mitch Cochiglione.
Just to bring it back to, I think, 3 points.
Yeah. So Cochiglione. So it was comeback enough. So game on here, boys, in the dying moments. Back to 3 points. Cochiglione nailing a goal. So it's 12-7 plays at 12-10 here on the call of the Wild. Shane Collins.
Well, game on. I don't know how long it'd be to go. It can only be seconds, I would have thought. But Blackwood have been awesome today. Onkas have been plodding, to say the least, but can they steal it? It'll be a quick centre exit here. They'll need to get the ball forward as quick as possible, and I think they need to be taking a mark.
The astute Robbie Sherwood just informed me, Shane, next goal wins.
Oh, isn't he? What an astute man he is, eh?
Well done.
I'm a winner.
So back in the centre, who will get that goal? Comes out here. Webber working hard. Oh, great desperation. Diving in there. Free kick paid. It's going to be Timmy Webber. What a champ he is, the former North Star. Sets it up high. They look for a big mark. Peter lumbers out. Gets his hands to a bouncing ball. Perilously close here. Oh, it's a shot.
Mayo! Yeah! They've stolen it here. Tommy Mayo got the
Tommy Mayo crumbing it. The Dogs. Wow.
Wow.
That is... Oh.
Yeah, it's the only time they've been in front all day.
It is too. It is too, Robin. And they certainly...
yep.
There can only be seconds left, so it's interesting. I'm actually, with the power of the thing, I wonder how the siren works now. Actually got no
Might have to get the cowbell out.
It probably won't
Back
work.
in the old days. Go up the dairy and get the cowbell. So, now Blackwood, the pressure on them. Can they get a goal back? Back in the centre. Cheryl gets the ball down. Taken by Green. Dispossessed. Clearing kick away by Greenslade. The experienced hands coming up. There's a bounce ball. There's a Bilby. There's a chance to curl it back. No, it's missed everything. No, it's snuck in for a behind.
Gee.
There, yeah.
Interesting point. I don't think it will matter too much, but...
So 5 goals to 2 in this last term by the Doggies. They've certainly rattled home Shane Collins. They got the governor off the accelerator. And, they were chugging along there for 3 quarters.
We put the knocker on Blackwood again, boys.
Well, I tell you what, they'd be very disappointed. Said 21 points at quarter time, 16 half time, 25 as they turned for home, and now they trail by 4. Bouncing ball out here, grabbed by Carissa, who was good in that second term. Ball up here, good clash of bodies there. Bouncing ball is a chance around the corner by Peter. Bouncing ball across the face and through for a minor score, but they stretch their lead. They're now 13-9 to 12-10, so 5-point margin. Will it come down to the last kick of the game, Robbie Shield? But Black would have to get the ball down the other end and quickly. So ball to Sarah with the ball for the Woods. Drives it down. Hopton sets himself at the back of the pack. Ball comes down. Clever tap out. Attempted little handball was cut off by the Doggies. So 28
and a half minutes in. I'm actually just worried about the siren working. There can't be any power to it.
Well, I hope the lights work. We might still be here, Shane, if the siren doesn't go.
40-minute quarter.
The timeless term as the ball is held up there at ground level.
So you see Onkas has dropped a couple of players behind the ball, but just a big ruckman, to be honest.
Big sleep there. Oh, the back shell, clever ruck work, got the Vines. Vines were kicked forward, bouncing ball. Cochleone's there, tried to tap it down to Carissa. Comes back to him, it's a chance to seal the game. Cochleone sets sail for goal.
Oh, another point.
Offhand, so 1 straight kick. 13-10 plays, 12-10 here.
What have they kicked in the last quarter, the Bulldogs?
They've kicked 6 goals, 7 in this quarter alone right now.
So, certainly had their chances.
There it is.
And there it is.
What a win.
Great fighting win there.
What a game of footy.
So I make it 1 straight kick, boys. 13-10 to 12-10 as Shane Collins heads out to try and find a special guest. But Robbie Shield, well, back from the dead there, and you can see the look on the Blackwood boys are just absolutely
just
devastated. Yeah, had that game.
They led
25 points.
They led for all but, the last 3 minutes
Yeah,
of the game. So,
absolutely.
But yeah, wonderful last quarter by Onkas, and they did it against Nan.
Yes.
So, yeah, they're obviously really fit. They don't forget to do that. So, yeah, great game of footy. Absolute great game of footy. So, and there's a bit of Blackwood. Yeah, okay, they lost, but hey, that's the best we've seen them this year.
All right, Shane Collins is on the pitch area with one of the stars of the show, Andy Vines. Down to you, Colo.
Thanks, Jeffrey. You got me okay from here? Yep, I'm with Andy Vines from the Onka Valley Footy. Stole it, mate, stole it.
It was pretty cooked. The scoreboard broken didn't help, so yeah, it was very full on come to the end there.
And what a great effort in the last quarter. Going to the huddles in the breaks, Coach Paul Tanner was really stressed about, Onka's played poorly today, but, to find that in the last quarter must be really exciting for the club.
Yeah, it's pretty good moving forward. I mean, we haven't really played good footy at all this year. We just keep managing to find a way, just getting over the line. And now I think we've cemented third, so get the double chance in finals. That's pretty handy.
And a win like that can mean so much to the group. You're a very young group. We've spoken about that today a lot during the game, the young kids. But, to find that belief to win those games that really you shouldn't have won must be a big thing for the boys.
Yeah, it's pretty massive. It's good knowing going into a game, you look down back and there's Kipes, Noah, all these young boys that are fresh out of 18s and they're playing on the likes of Hopton, who's kicked, I don't know, probably hundreds of goals in Hills footy, same as Ash. And they probably got touched up a bit in the first half, but they come out of the blocks. I don't know how many A's in the second half, but they sort of gloved in pretty well, I thought. So.
And the big fella, Dan Scholl, what a great last quarter. He took some contested marks and got the ball forward a lot. So fantastic having that big fella in form.
Yeah, he's just an absolute freak show. Probably shouldn't even be playing in Hills, to be fair, but every time we get to run out with him, it's a pretty good feeling. So that's pretty good.
Well done, mate. Congratulations on your game. Congratulations on the win. Go and enjoy it with the boys. There we go, boys. Onka's obviously elated and over the moon. They have stolen that there today. That for Blackwood Football Club, that must be so disappointing. They dominated today's game, played really well. Just that last quarter, you know, I said three-quarter time, Onka's kicking to that end of the ground. Sometimes late in games can be an advantage. The people in the kennel underneath the pergola there get up and about, and then you can get some momentum. And Lockie Peter took some absolute screamers, some wonderful goals. Tom Mayo got in the game. Dan Scholl started it in ruck, and Onkas have come out of this game, just stole it. So still a lot of work to do. I know I've said to you, Rob, the other week that Onkas were just plodding along. You've seen it now with your own eyes. They're not playing great football, but they are getting the wins. So who knows? If they can improve, they could become a force with the finals, but they've got a lot of work to do, and we will see next week when they front up against the Magpies just how far they might be off those top two sides. Anyway, boys, I'll cross back to you and the Dreammaker.
Thank you very much, Shane Collins, and great work as usual down in the boundary. And we certainly will find out next week, Robbie, because that's our game on the Quarter Wild next week.
Harndorf and Onkers. Harndorf v Onkers. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Should be a cracking game.
And Shane, out and about, he's just going to get another interview for us. I think with the injured Warrior and Brucey Kane. Of course,
got me there,
captain
Pistols.
just take it away.
Just while we're talking about the Onka Valley Football Club, I'm actually joined here by the captain, Bruce Kane. What a day, what a win, mate.
Yeah, we'll take that, mate. Absolutely. That was really good effort to come back from there, and really good finish, mate. Stoked for that.
Yeah, didn't play that well, but got the chocolates. And on to you, mate. Unfortunately, season done for you, but you know, what happened with your injury?
Yeah, unfortunately, mate, had a few ankle issues sort of early in the year and got some scans a couple of weeks ago and had to have a reco this week on my ankle, but yeah, just opens up another opportunity for someone else, mate, and we've got some really good young kids doing a really good job down back as well, so yeah, I'm sure they'll be covering me, no worries at all. It's just nice to get a win today and sort of keep that momentum going, mate, and be around the mark.
Excellent, mate. Sorry I grabbed you and pulled you into the mud here to have a quick chat with you, but good to see you, mate, and hopefully you get back on your feet quick.
Always a pleasure, Colo.
Good on you, mate. Thanks, Bruce. Just a quick one. I just sniped there on a drive-by, boys. But look, really important win, as we said, for the doggies today. They stole that one at the last minute, so full credit to them. But that's certainly the better Blackwood Football Club we saw today than we saw a month ago. So hopefully for them, they can continue that form over the next couple of weeks and find their way into the finals.
As we said, a character win. I put down to a character win, Shane, because 4 goals down at three-quarter time, looking down the barrel of a 7-year streak of losing to Blackwood here in their home ground. Certainly looming, but they dug deep, and tell you what. Yeah, no, you're 100% right. I you know, at three-quarter time, I thought to myself, geez, Dan Scholl hasn't had the game today, but, you know, he just wore him down, and his last quarter was outstanding. Tim Webber was just really important in the last quarter, and Greenslade. That's the engine room for the Bulldogs. I think they were soundly beaten in the first 3 quarters. I thought the midfield of Blackwood were outstanding, but, you know, late in that game there, Greenslade and Webber certainly got their hands on the ball, and we just saw a really good snippet of how good Lockie Peter can be, and you know, from him to present from the goal square and, you know, have a real crack at those balls in there. He could have taken 3 or 4 big marks and kicked, you know, probably 4 goals in that last quarter. He dropped the first couple, but he was good enough late to snatch a couple and then kick them home. So, and we saw the class of Tommy Mayo, just a very good young player, and snared a couple of goals there. So yeah, onwards and upwards, as you said. It's a good character to win those games, and hopefully there's better days ahead for the young doggies. I tell you what, that comeback by Onka is almost reminiscent of one I saw out here against the Onka Ironbank Football Club one day when a certain one of our team was actually coaching a team, and three-quarter time he really didn't have a lot to say because I think he was a bit disgusted. Without saying anything, I think the team, the Bulldogs that day, got the message. In the last quarter, they ran over. Do you remember that? 7 goals, I think they ran over Ironbank.
Oh, yeah. I've actually got a better one for you. I remember Steve Tanner's 200th year. We played Mount Barker, and we were 9 goals down at three-quarter time, and I told him I was quitting because if that's how we're going to play for one of our greats, you can jam it. And we kicked 11. We kicked 11 goals to 1 in the last quarter and won by 3 points. So they asked me to stay on. But
he's a motivational speaker, isn't he?
Yeah. That was probably the biggest one I've ever seen.
I think they got things mixed up because they wanted to win it for Steve, but
correct.
They wanted to get rid of the coach. So
it had nothing to do with me. I can give you the big tip, mate. Just a washed-up old coach.
But no, as you said, those sort of wins you sort of remember because of the character situation. They did it the hard way, but in the end, I think Dingo Town would be pretty happy to get the points, as you said, so vital at this time of the year. So, and talking about vital things, we'll go down to the vital stats where the game was won and lost. It's our man Jaden J and Indy 500.
Cheers, Pistols. So yeah, great game of footy. Really good game of footy. Blackwood got 28 kicks, 13 handballs, and 10 marks in that last quarter. And that was the least amount of kicks they had in the game, was 28, and least amount of handballs as well. Just unfortunately, they just couldn't get the job done, boys, and Onkas are just too good in that quarter as well. They had the least amount of tackles in that quarter as well. Their pressure dropped off, but Ben McCready can hold his head high. He had about 14 tackles in that game. He was just really good. I spoke about it last quarter. His 1%ers is just really good to get the ball forward and get the goals for Blackwood. But unfortunately, they just couldn't get the win today. And Joe Age kicked 5 goals and he had 11 kicks as well in the game. So I'll pass you on to Indy to give an overview of the game, more stats, and come back to me for some record stats as well.
It was an absolute cracking last quarter from Onka Prinker. We got 6 goals, 7 in that term alone. Just shows how dominant they were in the last. But you've also got to note their disposal dominance that I didn't actually see until the end of the game. They had 68 extra disposals in total compared to Blackwood. So they had really good first ball users. They just lacked composure for a good portion of that game. But I reckon what they did in that last quarter, they got some taller numbers back. You know, Dan Scholl, who'd been bullied all game, had a massive last quarter. Took 3 really important contested marks, pushing up from the defensive end of the ground. So that was so vital to allowing them to reset and keep the ball in their forward 50. But probably the cherry on top of all of that, I got to say, despite losing the inside 50 entries, their ability to take more marks inside the 50 in that last quarter was also a really pivotal stat to giving them the edge in that final term to allow them to overtake the Woods, who still had a bit of ferocity in that last quarter but were clearly fatigued. And Onkas were really, really good at keeping up the pace and getting quick disposals off, splitting the defense. You know, they realized by taking the game on, that was going to open up the play a bit more. So an outstanding last quarter from Onkas. Blackwood, they don't want to beat themselves up too much, but they do want to look at that last quarter and realize they conceded 13 scoring shots, and that's not including any out on the full. So definitely a weakness of their game. And also Tim Webber, 20 disposals and 7 tackles for the day. So he had a good afternoon at the office.
And just some, thanks Eddie, just some record stats here, boys. So that was Onkas. So what was Onkas' score in the end? 88, was it? It was their highest score ever against Blackwood since 2010 at Balhannah. So the previously it was 73 and now it's 88. It's the second highest aggregate score, Blackwood and Onkas at Balhannah as well. And just some positives, I guess, for Blackwood. It's the 8th time Blackwood has scored more than 50 points at Balhannah, and the 12th time they've scored over 80 points in 20 games as well. And also, so when I was on the show the other week, so Harndorf and Mount Lofty had scored 44 points in a single last quarter, and Onka scored 43. So that's the second highest last quarter score for a team this year. So there's some record stats there for you boys. Great game of footy, like I said before, and yes, great game of footy.
Good on you, boys, and also great work by you guys throughout this afternoon with the stats to Jaden J. Hill and Indy 500 Rogers. Thank you once again for your valuable input. So, boys, well, when you look at Blackwood, they'll be feeling a little bit disappointed at the moment as they sit in the visitors' change room, led by 21 points at quarter time, 16 at half time, 25 points at three-quarter time, and then get pipped at the post 13-10 to 12-10.
I certainly need a stiff scotch after that. I can tell you that, Pistols. It was a good game of footy, considering you know, I certainly think Onkas can improve a lot, but Blackwood were fantastic today. Full credit to them. I know they didn't get the points, and they'll be hugely disappointed. But from the team that we seen a few weeks ago, that was completely different there today. And you know, they're still in the hunt to get to that top 5. And if the way they played today, you know, they need to snare that 5th position or 4th position, and I
think they've got a Chunga next week.
Yep.
They
so
do. Yes.
They'll win that. Not sure.
And Mount Barker, which we'll have on the court.
That'll be a really important game.
So that result, which we haven't got, Mount Barker and Uraida today, because going into this round you had 4 sides. Blackwood holding 5th and just ahead on percentage from Uraida, Nan, Bremer and now Lofty. Lofty had the bye. Nan Bremer, fell foul of the Harndorf machine today. So Uraida and Mount Barker, that result would be very important for Blackwood in the scope of making the final. So 2 rounds to go, boys. It's been a shortened season, but still exciting.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And obviously the 2 top teams, I think, are a little bit ahead of the rest. But, you know, Onkas could potentially improve and find their way. There is hope. And
still hope for our Onkas Lobe grand final.
Oh, gee, you've had a stroke if you think Onkas Lobe are playing the granny. But anyway, where do you reckon Arndorf are going to go? Fall off the moon or something? No. I'll tell you a little secret with Onkas. I was here Thursday night with their training. They trained very, very poorly.
Really?
And I know between the coaching staff of both teams, they were very frustrated with the manner in which the boys trained. And
so,
and that's
as you say, how you train is how you play.
Absolutely. And
so, obviously, the reserves
the 2s were horrible. And they played
good.
exactly how they trained. And to be honest, the 1s were like that in the first half. You know, 3 quarters, they were poor as well. So I think there's a lot that Onkas can improve on, which I would think then roll into what happens on field. But, you know, the other thing that happened with Onkas today is another injury. You know, Zach Jordan heading off to hospital. Apparently was exiting a bit of blood from his mouth, so they're worried about kidneys and ribs and so forth. So with his little young one at home, that's not nice for him.
And also we pass on our best too to Ryan Dykesman, who didn't resume after
no, he didn't come back either,
when he set up that goal.
He did some beautiful play there to set up that goal. And you know, but there were some good signs, some really good signs from Blackwood today. I think, you know, we spoke about a couple of their younger players. I thought Tuck was outstanding today. His speed and presence around the contest was very good. And
good.
Isaac McCormack, wow, what a player he is.
Yeah,
he
big
was,
future for him.
He was excellent and did a really good job. Joel Aish was sensational up forward.
5 goals.
Pre-game, I was really interested in how Benson and Spawn went. I reckon they were tough today. They were really physical, really strong through the middle.
the coal face,
and you know that they're important players for the Blackwood football team. So you know, well done to them. Matt T, we called his name a lot today, and I thought the big fella in ruck had the better of Dan Scholl for the first 3 quarters, and you know, Dan perked it up in the last and got him across the line.
I tell you, he'd be pretty happy at the moment. Shane is just watching the, what would this be, under 12?
Under 12?
This is under 12. Yes.
Blackwood, Onka's playing Lobethal, and, Onka's racing 3 goals to 0. So
yeah,
jeez, look at the size of number 24.
I tell you what,
something in the chicken up here, Colin.
I had the chicken, yeah. Well, that's my problem then, I reckon. I've had too much chicken.
The umpire has.
All right, boys. Once again, it's been a good afternoon. We must thank, of course, Matt the roadie, who was up here at Sparrows to get the Dream Maker set up.
7:30, and I had to come up with the key because he left the key.
Got to get more.
Now, what about Tuesday night, Pistols? Are you going to leave us hanging again, or we're going to put an absolute blue ribbon professional show together without you again?
I know. I've watched the tape, and I just think maybe I've been unplugged, but if you have me back, but I will tell you the real reason on Tuesday night why I was absent. But anyway, we'll get to that.
No, there's no reason, mate. You can't leave us hanging like that.
Yeah, you always take your
well, it actually stems from you, because
what do I do?
You, when you drew my head off the other week about the false information regarding Sammy Miles would be playing.
Yep.
And
your false information that you dished out to us, yes.
Yes, and you
he played last week
you
with one arm.
gave me the shellacking. Well, similar to what happening in America, I got a call from the broadcasting control board, and they actually Had to serve a match for displaying fake, false information.
Well, fair enough too. You're lucky you got a match. You should have got a couple of weeks, I thought, because you know you can't be doing that. Anyway, the rumour was that Sam Miles played with a hook on his hand last Saturday, a Pirates hook.
Captain Hook style.
He lost his whole hand, and he still got best player.
And he was still able to do his laces up too before the game.
Right.
He's a magic man, isn't he? But anyway, as we said, thank you very much to Matt the Roadie, more intelligent things. And we've got to also thank our match day supporters. Robbie, of course, Sports Interactive, Mortgage Choice. They're pretty good, Bob, aren't they, Robbie? Dartfish, Jarrett, Nissan, Business Plaza, Adelaide Star Buses.
Hey, Adelaide Star Bus. I think I've seen the big fella here
today.
today.
He was in attendance. He was in attendance.
What a champion.
He wanted to come and see how you performed. I told him. Chris Shaw Accounting.
A special mention to Steve Clark and Complete Joinery. We used their tray top today, so for the film.
Very good. So that wraps it up. Another entertaining game in the end. A 1-goal margin, 13-10. Onka Valley defeated Blackwood 12-10 in a ring-a-ding-ding here, round 7. So don't forget, round 8 next week, Call it Wild. Back to Harndorf Pine Avenue. Your boys, once again, the Bog Dogs. Looking forward to this, Shane. The grand final rematch.
Rematch, yep.
Well, could be preview, but rematch from last year. So looking very much forward to that. So
I would. Can I make a prediction now? I would say Harndorf by 74.
All right.
74 points?
Yep.
All right,
you
74.
Won't sleep that well this week,
No,
Rob.
you won't. You won't.
No, Onkers will need to improve by plenty to get within anywhere close to them. But in saying that, Harndorf now locked in top. Who knows? They might have a couple of injuries. They might be resting a couple. Who knows? This time of year, it's going to be a little bit tricky, isn't it?
Yep. Exactly.
I know Onkers had 2 players today that in normal circumstances wouldn't have played, but they really needed to win today. So, you know, some management of players might happen over the next few weeks.
And when they did, so we might head over and hear how easy it was.
It's always easy when you win.
Oh, you are coming over? I did make sure that we put the beer prices up by a couple of bucks because you were going to buy tonight, buy us a couple of beers. So I appreciate that, Pistols. That's for Tuesday night when I absolutely carried your can.
Well, you did promise me you'd give me an exclusive guided tour of your cubicle.
Well, I will, and I'll show you a couple of photos in the rooms too, mate.
And get the old Kodak still photos out of number 7 right here. Fantastic.
Oh, we're going to go. Let's get out of here, boys.
All right. Thanks for your company. Hillsfooty.com. And don't forget Hills Footy Unplugged. Check your local guide to see when it's streamed. We love Dallas. We love them all. Catch you next time. Until then, keep on kicking and chasing goals.